Welcome back to another episode of Big Mike and Little Ant. I am Little Ant. This is Big Mike. Hey, hold on, Big Mike. Let's do this right. All right, there we go. Now it feels everything's right in the world. What's up, man?
What's up, brother, man? I'm here on location, man, ready for another epic show this week, talking about what if episodes 1 and 2, as we told the audience that we would bring.
Yep. Now, if it rain on you, you still gonna be on location, huh?
Well, you see, I got the awning above me, so I should be fine.
You ready? All right. Gotcha.
I'm ready to go.
So what we doing today, Mike? Tell these people, man, that don't know.
So we're doing Marvel's What If, the latest TV show on Disney Plus. The one they dropped in between the next set of movies they got coming out. It's going to be a review of episode 1 and 2. What we like, dislike, spoiler discussion. Just to kind of keep giving you guys content. And then, of course, we'll be back with our regular stuff maybe next week. So I'm excited.
Yep. And how many episodes is the whole season?
I'm pretty sure it's 9. Yeah, it's 9. Okay.
Yeah,
so what we can do is do every 2 and then do the finale by itself.
Yeah. Okay. That's cool.
Yeah. So
right.
I'm really good about that.
Well, but we don't come empty-handed, though, do we, Mike?
Never, man. We always got something special for you guys.
Definitely. So let me give a great shout out and pull in the comic connoisseur, the man himself that does things like this. Oh, I'm watching a Marvel show. Let me just take my pen and paper down. None other than my man and Mike's man, Dave. What's up, Dave?
Big Dave. What's going on, Dave? We can't hear you, Dave.
Let me find out he came in here muted.
My bad. Yo, what's good?
All right.
Yeah.
What's up, Dave?
Glad
How
to be
you doing,
back,
man?
man.
How you been?
Chilling good. Yourself?
I've been good, man.
Yeah. You're glad to be back, man. Ready to do this. What if? First 2 episodes down. Let's get to it, man.
I'm dying to talk to you.
Yes.
So, I'm going to be honest, right? My retention for some stuff, sometimes, I'm like, So sometimes you guys will be talking about movies, and I'm the entertainment guy. I remember the big explosions and this and that. Sometimes y'all get all deep. I'll be like, yeah. But, dude, these two, they was just 30 minutes each or a little more, and my brain is like, I want to talk. So this is exciting for me.
Dave wanted to talk to hold on. Dave wanted to talk to me. He wanted to talk to me in the chat. I said, Dave, save it for the show, as we always say.
Yes.
Save it for wax and whatnot. So,
yeah.
But anyway, we also got a second guest, my boy, my longtime childhood friend, also good into the Marvel fantasy, TV, and movies, has a lot of insight, always brings the laugh. My boy E Money.
Woo, E.
What's good?
What's up? So E, how you been, man?
I've been good, man. I've been good. Dealing with that big dog, but I'm good.
All right. Oh, you ready to chop it up about these 2 episodes?
Oh yeah. I'm ready.
Oh man, I'm super ready today, guys. When I watched that first episode, I was like, oh man. And then I just watched the second one this morning. I text Mike. I was like, Mike, I just watched it. I'm ready.
I thought y'all were gonna watch it the other night after your Sandy and Anthony show.
We was, and my daughter came in my room and she was talking to me until 2 a.m. She just had a lot she wanted to talk about, and I feel like we're trying to reconnect. Kind of is weird, but she's 15 and she's been reaching out like, hey, I feel like we're not close. I want to be closer. So I was like, cool. And we talked to 2 a.m. I was like, damn, I ain't finished wrestling. I ain't do the what if.
That's what's up.
But anyway, obviously it was better to, talk to my daughter and stuff.
All right. Well,
but now I just watched it, so it's super fresh in my mind.
Yeah. Well, this episode, but let's go back to the first episode, man. So, let's start back, man. What were you guys' thoughts of this after seeing the trailers, as far as what you expected from this and whatnot? How about Dave? What you thought, bro?
I thought it was going to be closer to what it was in the comics. In the comics, they didn't. I'll get into the show, but they didn't present it this way. It was presented a different way in the comics.
So in the comics was just like random. Well, so here's the thing with the comics. So let's be clear, so people watching, we won't really get into it. But these are what ifs based off the MCU, which is
but it's still the same vein. So they could have still did things from the MCU, but the comics took things in a much darker tone.
Gotcha.
And we're gonna get into that as the show goes on.
But you were excited for
but,
it in the beginning, though.
Yeah, oh yeah, because I thought that's what it was gonna be. I just thought they weren't showing it to us.
All right, we'll get it.
Right? You'll see. You'll see.
Hey,
So yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Hey, when you saw the trailers, man, and heard it's coming, what were your expectations? What do you think?
See, when it came to that, I didn't have any expectations because I thought, you know, once I shows, I was already blown away after Loki. So I figured when this was going on, I honestly thought this was going to show us what was going on with the split in the time stream with when all the things were splitting and all the things were wrapping around and the multiverse. That's what I thought it was about.
I think it is kind of, well, we'll get into that in a second, actually. And what about you, my partner, Ant? What do you think?
Yes, sir. You know what? I didn't dig deep into the what ifs. I know all about the what ifs from the comic books. But I didn't dig deep into the show. Like I wasn't paying. I just knew like I'm in for this Disney ride, right? Once they start having shows, well, I seen every Marvel movie. So once I already start seeing these Marvel shows, knowing that they connect, I'm like, I'm in. Now, I didn't think this is going to connect at all, but I thought I'm already in for these shows. And how cool would it be to have like, you know, what ifs where they switch stuff all around? And we'll get into how I feel about them switching around. So I was just going to watch this regardless, is what I'm pretty much saying.
Yeah, me too. I was gonna watch it regardless. I think it's a nice filler in between other shows and movies and stuff like that. Something different. I do remember the comics though vividly. I remember like what if Wolverine killed the Hulk and just a bunch of different things that they had before. But it's nice to finally bring that, you know, to the screen. So in episode 1 was about what if Peggy Carter took the serum instead of Steve Rogers, and she became Captain Carter. And that thing had a lot of spoilers and Easter eggs throughout. I'm sure Dave caught a bunch of them, knowing Dave and stuff like that. But Dave, episode 1, we think about episode 1 overall.
Oh man, I didn't. Okay, so I didn't like it.
Why
I didn't like it at all. Okay, so first off, I put this. I didn't like Agent Carter. I watched all of Agent Carter because it's Marvel. I have to watch it. I'm sorry. I haven't watched Inhumans, so but I watched Agent Carter. Inhumans was garbage, but Agent Carter wasn't that bad, but it wasn't my thing. But I still watched it. So to see a show dedicated to her, I was kind of already like, nah, okay, I'll play along. And the story was dope. The animation art, the art animation is top notch, right?
Yeah.
But it's very campy. Yeah, it's extremely kiddie. Like, there's no darkness to this show at all. Everything is light jokes and little comeback jokes from later on, and the action was very minimal. I'm figuring for a cartoon show, there should be a lot more action.
Okay, I'm gonna get it to
I was very disappointed.
I disagree, especially with the episode or whatever.
Oh, Dave,
now, as far as the Easter eggs,
real quick, guys. I realized something, Mike. Don't even rebuttal Dave. When you ask Dave a question, just let him finish. Because if you say one thing to Dave, y'all gonna go.
You're right.
Dave Dave got layers to. He got something for everything. Let's just let him speak. Let's just move around and then get.
And one more thing, in terms of the Easter eggs, right? It was packed with Easter eggs. Mike's right. It was jam packed full of Easter eggs, but they were useless to me because I came into this what if not attaching this to the regular MCU, which I'm still not. Like, I don't want to see cartoon characters standing next to a real life Captain America. That's like that'll draw the line for me on Marvel. I'm like, wait a minute, hold up. But I was very disappointed in this episode. The Easter eggs, like I said, were in abundance. That's what kept me interested, and I am going to watch every episode. But I don't know that I like it that much.
Cool. All right, I'll get back to David E-Money. Go ahead, bro.
Man, I enjoyed the episode. Actually, I was the opposite. I was actually shocked. Even the killing, it was still killing going on. It was pretty dark, but it was enough more. Now I felt that kids could enjoy it more than the show, because I noticed my kids lost interest in watching the live shows than compared to watching What If. What If they want to? Hey, come on, we watching What If? We watching What If? They never.
That's
did
a great point.
Yeah, they never did that for the shows, but they did that for What If. And like I said, everybody loved Peggy. I liked her. She did her thing, especially with that.
And one more thing, in terms of the Easter eggs, right? There was a pack with Easter eggs. Mike's right. It was jam packed full of Easter eggs, but they were useless to me because I
All right. And
100% on the opposite of Dave. I'm with E Money. I liked it. And Dark, bro, I was like, yo, she's cracking people in the face with this shield. I know they died. Like, I was like, hold up. Like, I mean, the impact, he was talking about action. I felt like when she was just hitting people and with the shield in their face, I was like, yo, isn't kids watching that show? Like, bro, that shield is, it was things blowing up. I was like, oh man. So for me, I felt like, even though it was no blood, I was like it was clear that a lot of people died. Like clear, like no, they died. A kid is gonna be like, oh my god,
it's cartoon violence.
Hold on, Dave. Just let us go. We're gonna get to it. Let everybody go around and let's chop it up, right?
We'll come back around. So, Dave,
hold on, I ain't done, Mike.
I'm sorry, my fault. I thought you were done. My fault. Go ahead.
Yeah, let me finish real quick. So, but I liked it. I didn't know I knew the what if was gonna switch things up, but what's cool for me is MCU is recent to us, right? And some people haven't dived into the comic book, so I think they need to keep it on just pretty much the MCU, which I don't know if they ever stated that is what it is, but I assume that's what it is. But yeah, to switch it up and make it be Peggy and not Captain. Now, guys, don't kill me. Is Peggy? Isn't she Captain America's love interest?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Is she the original woman that he didn't marry, right?
Right.
That he got. Okay, cool. Yeah. All right. Because when you guys were talking about Agent Carter, I never watched Agent Carter. I was like, oh, she had her own show.
Yeah, she did.
But,
on ABC.
Yeah. All right, that's cool. And she was supposed to be who he was in love with.
Yeah.
That's what's up. All right, cool. So,
well, real quick, on her show, it takes place after he gets in the ice. So she talks about him a lot on her show. She misses him and yada, yada, yada. And also Howard Stark from the movie is on her show as well.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
It's part of her team.
That's cool. Never knew that. But yeah, honestly, I liked it. From the first episode, like I heard some people was upset because they made her the main person and she's a female kind of. So it was like, oh, she was too I think Chloe was saying in our chat, she was too jacked. I was like, I mean, she took the super serum. I don't know what you want her to be. And plus she was more like, I liked it. Long story short, I liked it. I liked the action. I liked the wittiness. And I didn't think I was going to like it that much, but because I was like, I don't really care about the what if. They're just going to switch people around. It's not like, maybe I'll like an episode that talk about David Banner or something, because that's my guy. But who really cares about Captain America and Peggy? But for me, I was like, okay, they impressed me. So.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, her show wasn't great, but it was really good. I kind of like watching it. I thought mad they took it off or whatever like that. And I like her character even, and I like that she's consistent who she is. She's very like, listen, I don't care that I'm a woman. I'm gonna fight these dudes. I'm not scared. Blah blah blah. And that's who she's been and always is. This show, I liked it. I thought that it was more action. Like if you go back to Captain America: The First Avenger, which this is like based off of, it's more action than the What If than it is in that First Avenger. And like in that half hour of What If, we got more action than we did in Captain America: The First Avenger. I'm not gonna lie to you.
I thought this
and
was
it was more violent.
Action.
And more violence.
More violent.
More violence, more action. It was she was taking people out. And she's actually, I'm sorry to say, a better fighter than Captain America initially. Stuff like that. Yeah, I'm sorry to say.
I mean, you could do more with a cartoon, but
obviously, yeah. So now I thought it was good. I thought I wouldn't like it because I love Cap. Like I love Steve Rogers' Cap, but I was actually really like really into it. I like what they did with the story. They did some changes as far as like the Red Skull. I like having the Red Skull back because I like the Red Skull's character, in there as well. I just like how they said like that one part of her saying she'd rather stay down there to watch the transformation than go to the gallery changed everything. I like the premise of the show, and that's like life, right? Like one decision could change everything. So I like that idea, like that they set in place. I don't know. That's all I'm gonna say for now. I'll come back around, but those are the things that I really like so far.
Now, before we jump to the next thing, let's say what's up to the chat. It was some viewers jumping in and out. But want to say what's up to you guys, even the people that's not commenting because it was 7 people at one point. But we got Josh in the building. Chloe and Peggy was too masculine. Okay, yeah, remember you said that before. By the way, the show was inaccurate. She didn't fall in love with him until. Well, I think the whole thing is they're switching it all around, right?
That's not true.
No, I
that's
like
not,
that.
That's actually not. That's actually not true. She started to fall in love with him when he was smaller. They were talking debates.
Let's talk about it. They had like 2 conversations before that. She fell in love after like 2 conversations.
Nah, I remember
I said she started to. She did because she saw. Remember, he jumped on the bomb in the first one. She saw that he had that courage and that he was, selfless, stuff like that.
Yeah, he was smart enough to take a nut in the bowl out of a flagpole. That too. So that's it. I love this man. I love him. Manual labor.
TJ, what's up?
What's up, CJ?
So, ask, how did she get those fighting skills so quickly?
She was already able to fight.
In the military. She was already in the military.
Yeah, were y'all watching Captain America 1? I feel like y'all didn't.
Yeah, she was like
the episode dry and boring, unrealistic. Well, it is based off the MCU, which is unrealistic, but dry. I don't know. I liked it, but
and when you guys are talking about violence, I heard a lot of bonk. Like, at one point, I was waiting for a rubber mallet to get pulled out and hit over somebody's head.
So hold on. Dave.
Red Skull getting crushed like that wasn't motherfucking crazy.
That was that. Yeah. Well, here's what I'm going to say. I'm going to clean my whole statement up by saying this was the better of the 2 episodes. I like this episode better than the next one.
All right, well, I'm not even going to get into that.
Yeah, not yet. But I'm just saying. I'm going to say that this episode, it had action. I don't know if it had more action than First Avenger or not. But it had a lot of action.
It definitely did, bro. First Avenger was a lot of. I'm sorry. That was like.
But you got to remember, they condensed the 2-hour movie into 30 minutes. So if they're only giving us the fighting parts, there was still a lot of talking parts in this.
Yeah, but I'll say this. In 30 minutes, they did a hell of a job, man.
Right.
Yeah. Now, granted, a whole movie when more things happen. I don't know. I feel like you can compare both that movie to this half an hour. They got where they needed to be. That stuff happened. I don't know. I thought it was.
It showed all the major parts of the movie in the 30 minutes of the show, basically. So it left out all like a lot of the dry stuff or whatever that we didn't need. That's why I felt like it was more action. It made me want to go back. Well, MCU is so good and they're still doing it. They made me want to go back and watch the first Avenger. To be honest with you, and like they did it with WandaVision. They keep making me want to go back and watch movies and stuff like that. So they're good at that. So what about you, E? I mean, besides the action, anything you didn't like about that first episode?
No, I really enjoyed it. Like,
how did y'all like? We haven't touched on this yet. How did y'all like Steve Rogers' arc this time, becoming like the first Iron Man? I guess
that again, I thought was a little campy as well. I thought why would he choose him? For what?
What are you talking about? He was already chosen. He was already chosen to be
but he was but that's because he was weak and scrawny, and he was going to get big and strong.
That's not why he was weak and strong.
So why not get a big and strong? Why not get a big and strong pilot to pilot?
Because it doesn't. Hold on, real quick. E. Being a pilot, that doesn't make sense. Why? You ever took a plane ride? He went through basic training. What's he know about? But think about it. He's going to be inside of a machine, so he didn't need to be jacked in. The machine was.
I understand the body. I understand the body aspect, right? What I'm asking is, why not get a pilot, like an actual person who's used to driving stuff?
Because he's not. He's Tony. He's not. Tony likes to try out the stuff he creates.
Well, it wasn't Tony. It was Howard. But
he didn't want to try nothing. They asked him to get in there. What did he say? Oh! I'm just the guy that makes this.
Yep.
So you know what? Who would be the perfect pilot for this? I know, the crippled dude.
He wasn't crippled.
Yeah, he was. Yeah, he was. His back was all messed up. Steve Rogers' back was all messed up. He was in there rehabbing while she was working out. Remember?
He got shot. He wasn't crippled. He was just rehabbing. But nevertheless, he was already chosen to be Captain America, not because he was weak and scrawny, because he showed that he was selfless and that he was, he wanted the greater good. That's why he got chosen for the same thing.
I don't know. Like I said, I just thought that was a little rushed. Again,
I think you need to go back and watch first. The whole
Iron Suit concept only came about when Tony was captured. So I don't know why he would be ready to be thinking Iron Suit 40 years.
Bro, it's called What If. Are you?
I understand. What I'm trying to tell you is what I don't like about the episode, though. That's what I call camp. I don't like that much camp in my comics.
All right, let me just put a little
I
realism.
feel like I was
Hold on,
watching Teen Titans Go.
Let me put a little realism into it. I just got a couple things to say. First, I want to give a shout out to my boy Matthias Thompson III. Again, he's the guy that said told us that the dude was U.S. Agent. He's my comic book guy of comic book guys that I know out of all my friends. But so shout outs to him. Thanks for watching. And I apologize I didn't even send you this, but it's cool that you got the notification. So hey, hey Dave, you said Suicide Squad was the best DC movie. Please don't give me you think a rubber mallet should have came out. Stop. I don't want to hear that from you with that statement. Now, second of all, let's put a little realism on it. Bro, like some of the stuff you want that again, it's 30 minutes.
Right.
They doing a hell of a job for 30 minutes. They don't got time to do all the extra stuff you want them to do with 30 minutes. I'm just saying.
I want to go back to what you said before, though. It's called What If. So everything is what if. So basically, it's what if they gave Howard the Tesseract. What if he had this much power? What would he do with it? Well, he builds a machine that can be powered by the Tesseract. He didn't have the power before to be able to have that machine. So it's all
see what
if.
Matthias just said, Mike.
Yeah.
So
yeah. Howard,
it was Howard's
yes.
Right. So Howard wanted to do somebody. Peggy would try.
Correct. Exactly, and whatnot. I feel like
that makes sense. That makes sense.
Okay.
Let's not get crazy where we got to debate everything, guys. Let's not fall into that trap. That's what we do.
Debating it. I just want to know what y'all felt about the iron suit or whatever like that. But what about you, Andy? What you thought about it? You didn't really say.
I liked it.
Did you like the name?
I didn't see that coming. So I thought it was like, oh, this is cool because they kind of got like Iron Man. Because I feel like this is just going to be a pretty much Captain America episode, but she's going to be Captain America, so to speak, right? But I was like, oh, that's pretty cool because Tony was pretty much beat up and broken, and he needed to break out in the actual MCU, right? So it was like, oh, how clever was that to let his dad create the first Iron Man suit, but give it to Captain America, who didn't become Captain America. I was like, you know what, bro? Yeah, I liked it.
I liked it too. I didn't like the name. To your point, Dave. That was a stupid name. I thought it was a dumb name. They should have given it a better name than that.
Thank you.
What was the name?
The Hydra Stomper.
Oh yeah, because somebody said that, and then they just ran with it. That's right. So Howard didn't just say, "Hey," like it was kind of one of those things where this happens all the time. Like what did you say it's called, Mike? The DCEU.
DCEU? Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that's fan made and that's not official. But we like it, so it sticks, right? Well, I don't like it, but it sticks. So I'm pretty sure. So that's pretty much what happened to Howard in there. Those soldiers was like, "Oh, he's the Hydra Stomper," and then it stuck, and he was called a Hydra Stomper. Just saying.
It's definitely official with WB and DCEU. Fans might have made it, but it definitely is official now.
Well, show me that on paper. Show me that.
Wait, what are y'all talking about? What the DCEU?
He said it's not called that. He said
it is called that. It is called
that. Thank you. I tried to tell him.
Show me it on paper.
DC Extended Universe.
Why don't you think it exists though? Just curious.
Because it's fan made.
Yeah. At first, it
not
was
fan made.
It was fan made.
It
was fan made.
Because it was an idea. It was an idea from DC, but once Justice League did so bad, they scrapped it and killed it.
Oh, it was that.
I'm just talking about the title. We're talking about a name. I'm saying that. Yeah.
Because we got
real quick, they had to separate from Dark Knight. That's not in with the same universe. That's why they got a new Batman. They had to separate. Yeah.
I just typed in DCU.
I want to see the official DC saying that's what they call their thing.
And I know we named that because I remember when DC said they wasn't going to call it the DCEU, but the fans kept saying it, so they just left it alone. MCU is the original MCU, Marvel Cinematic Universe. That's where the DCU that's where they even got that from.
Thank you.
Right.
I don't even know why. I don't even know why. I want to get off.
I want to get off.
Yeah, let's get off.
Yeah, that's it.
But before I do, it's because the reason I had kind of conversation because we were talking about the best DC movie. I was telling him the Dark Knight stuff is not in the same universe. When people say that, they don't mean that Dark Knight. That's like separate. And what?
I ain't trying to hear that. All I'm saying is, if it's a DC movie, it's a DC movie. You could separate if you want to be like, well, I can't compare that to that because it came out after that. No, I ain't trying to hear that. If it got
that's like saying Marvel.
We comparing it all.
Well, that's like saying Marvel would count like the Hawk movies from the 70s or the X-Men movies. They're not in the same thing as the MCU. Like it's
They
a
still
different...
are Marvel characters,
Right?
But they're not. But they're
I'm
not in
say
that
one last
world
thing.
though. What
I'll
they
say one last
did in
thing.
their world didn't matter.
Hold on, I'm
Right,
gonna say
right.
one
It's
last
not
thing.
canon, I guess.
Let me say,
That's
Yes.
first
let me
thing.
just say,
It's not canon to them. Yeah.
let me just say one thing. This I'm just looking at it like this. If you had a 2-hour flight on a plane and you could choose one, I don't care if you're choosing the old Hope movies that got nothing to do with the MCU, or you're gonna choose the Eric Bana Hope, which was terrible, or you're gonna choose the Edward Norton, or you're gonna choose the Mark Ruffalo. Which you choosing? So for me, it's just it was a Marvel project. I'm just saying. You could separate. I get it to put a label on. Oh, Eric Feige or Kevin Feige, and this is. But I'm just saying, as far as Marvel, like Blade, like so, we just gonna make it like Blade never happened. No, Blade's a Marvel
Right.
property.
There's a new Blade about to come out.
Yeah, but you don't see Tony saying that we had a few problems a few years ago with a bunch of vampires running around here. Like you're not gonna see that in Iron Man 2, you know.
Mike was the one that wanted to like put it in a certain compartment. I wasn't doing that. I was just saying, you know, so we start. That's why he's just explaining to you how we got on the name. Why Mike was just trying to explain to me.
Because we were talking about a Suicide Squad, and people said it's the best DC film. He was like, people say better than Dark Knight. I was like, well, that don't count for the DC film.
Right.
Yeah, because that Dark Knight is a standalone series by itself.
Right.
So is the Dark Knight better than the Suicide Squad?
Yeah. But it's not in that. It's not in that. I said it's the best DCEU movie.
Correct.
But the DCEU ain't a real thing. But go ahead.
Yeah, it is. They just said, "Oh yeah, he
mind.
shot." Who did he shoot? Who did he shoot with a kryptonite bullet? They said Superman. Superman is in the DCEU. That's connection. Bang, done.
Isn't that the same Superman that was fighting the same Batman?
Most likely.
No.
Most likely.
No, that Batman was fighting. No, he's fighting Ben Affleck.
Ben Affleck was still supposed to be Bruce Wayne. They might have recasted him, but
here's how stupid DC is. DC got Robert Pattinson to be the new Batman, and they're gonna go cast Ben Affleck after him in the Flash movie.
Right, I was about to say Ben Affleck's still Batman. And so
what did he do that at? What did he do that?
All right.
We're going off subject, but you know
what?
Let me hear E. Hold up, let's hear E. Let E speak real quick.
You're saying this, but Michael Keaton was a different Batman from a different universe, but he's in the Flash. But he's in the Flash
because the DC steals everything Marvel does. It's literally they just got somebody reading Marvel Entertainment News. Hey, they're doing multiverse. We got to do it too. And now they're gonna have multiple Batmans running around.
He's made a really good point though, because they put him in the Flash movie. Now the DCU, the universe. He's actually made a really good point. If you do a multiverse, you can actually have Christian Bale back too in the DCU.
Yeah, he'll never be associated with that. He'll never be associated.
You know what? Kudos to you, bro. That was a good point. But
which proves my point. But we can move on.
Yeah,
we got the Val Kilmer one back too, right?
Yep.
Imagine his ass in a bat suit today. Imagine Val Kilmer in a bat suit today, yo. He'd be Fat Man. That would be Batman. He's
got throat cancer right now, so I doubt he could do it. But nevertheless, got a good new documentary called Val on Amazon. It just came out 2 weeks ago. It's really good.
Yep.
2 hours long. Nevertheless, so back to this episode. So Bucky, I don't like what they did with Bucky though. That's the only thing I didn't like. They made Bucky. I mean, I know Bucky and Captain America 1 wasn't like the Winter Soldier, but I'm so used to being a Winter Soldier right now, and I was just like, they made him just kind of too friendly for me. The whole Bucky aspect of the whole thing.
Okay, I got my feelings on that. But.
Yeah, all right, Dave. What do you think about the Bucky part?
Again, I understand why, because Zola never experimented on him. He never fell for the train. He never becomes Winter Soldier. He's just a regular dude. He was to me. He was unimportant to the story. He didn't even need to be there. If he wasn't there, it would have been the same exact story. You know, I would have liked it just the same. He didn't bring anything to the team whatsoever. I thought Dum Dum Dugan brought one to the team than he did. But,
I like Dum Dum Dugan.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, me too. But yeah, other than that, man, I didn't really care for his character too much. He's kind of bland and plain.
If y'all don't know, he's the guy with the weird mustache, Dum Dum Dugan. What do you think about the Bucky aspect of it?
I liked it a little bit, you know, especially when he's like, "Oh, you almost ripped my arm off." I was like, "Oh, okay, I like that."
Yeah.
Little shout out to the Winter Soldier moment. Like, I thought it was good.
All right, so you had thoughts, and what do you think?
What I will say first, I think they were trying to really focus on Carter's story arc, and I feel like if they put Bucky will put too much into you wanting too much more out of Steve's story arc. So right, if you would have made Bucky anything more, then you would have been you would have felt you would have been left like really that's all they did. Like you would have want more. Again, it's only 30 minutes. So I feel like you know what the safe bet is don't put too much spotlight on them because you're not going to get much out of them. Because I feel like for me, not getting that much out of them, but as E said, that was the best thing for me. Him saying I almost lost my arm. By them leaving it at that, I was cool with it. But if they made him a little too more like into it, I would have wanted more. And that would have been a complaint of mine. I'm like, yo, man, they could have done more, but because they kind of left him a little in the background, so to speak, I feel like he did just enough to be more of Steve's of Steve's friend, which wasn't the star of this because Carter was the star of this. So for me, it was good. It was good enough, you know.
Okay. And just one more thing, or two more things before I get to that. How about the ending of the episode, where like how it ended, the whole thing, where she went through the portal?
Wait. I want to. What you got to say about Bucky though?
Oh, I'm sorry. Bucky, I'm with Dave, honestly. I kind of said at the beginning. I thought Bucky was just like there. I felt like I agree with you. They didn't need to have more, but I felt like at the end of the day, it could have been they didn't have to have him at all or whatever like that. Like it wouldn't have lacked. But I guess I think it had to have him because he isn't the original story. But if he's not going to move the story forward, like in the original, he gets kidnapped and becomes the Winter Soldier. Eventually, it's like, then what's the point of him at this point?
Because
remember, so hold on. Everything changed though. This is what if because Cap wasn't Captain America, then there's no point for that to happen. So I feel like he was just a regular dude. He was just a regular dude. He's a regular dude. So there's no point. So there's no point to even doll him up and make it like he was gonna be somebody because he wasn't. That's why I was comfortable with it.
But they still gave him like several lines though in the movie, in the show, or whatever like that. So I guess my point is that
which he mailed in. He obviously mailed those in. You could tell.
Yeah.
He must have been unhappy with the character arc of his own shit too. Like I'm just kind of here, so I might as well just kind of read this.
And I'm not gonna lie, since Peggy Cat, her Winter Soldier would be Steve. It wouldn't be.
Yeah,
right.
That makes sense.
Which the Iron Man suit was good enough.
Well, speaking of BigMike.LittleAnt, Dave said that I did love they used even though it's a cartoon, they used the same voices from the MCU.
They tried.
Characters.
Yeah, they tried.
For the most part, they did. Especially in the first one, they did exactly or whatever like that. I thought that was perfect. What y'all thought about that? Whatever. So.
Yeah. I think that's a nice little touch.
I knew it wasn't Steve though, so that's why.
It wasn't Steve. No.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wasn't looking out for the names when it popped up. But I was like, oh, was that person? Because when they had Steve, I was like, yo, they did a good job. I was like, is it him or is it not him? So I thought that was.
And then it wasn't Red Skull either. It wasn't Hugo Weaving anyway. It was Ross Marquand.
Yeah, he's been Red Skull since Infinity War.
Yeah, he's been on screen less than 10 minutes both of those appearances. I mean, in terms of like this version of the Red Skull was the main villain. So I think of that as the Hugo Weaving Red Skull.
I can't really tell a big difference though between the two Red Skulls, honestly.
Nah, you can't.
Nah, you know what's cool too? This is the cool thing about an anime is this is one thing where you don't have to nitpick so much, right? Like I remember, let's talk about games when Marvel Avengers came out, and so people was mad that they didn't get Robert Downey Jr. as Iron Man, didn't get this and that. But I'm a gamer, so I was like, they got Nolan North. He's probably one of the most popular voice actors in gaming. He does Nathan Drake from Uncharted. I was like, bro, he's perfect for Iron Man. He's witty, blah blah blah. But I feel like as a cartoon, you know what? We're looking at the action and all this stuff going on. As long as for me, I'm just speaking for me. As long as the voices sound similar, I'm like, you know what? Because I'm already into it's a cartoon. It's not the actual live action. So I'm good.
Yeah, I agree with that. Even I go back to the Avengers cartoon from a few years ago, I thought the voices were good. They weren't any of the MCU voices or whatever like that. So I wasn't so upset about that at all. And last thing, the ending of the show. I want to talk about how you like the ending when she went through the portal, came back in the future. What y'all thought about that? Let me start with Dave, man, to get the negative out the way.
This is actually probably the best part of the show because it finally bridged the gap. Like I didn't expect her to come through the portal, but she did. I I still don't know what the hell the monster she fought was. I was hoping an eye was gonna come out like the middle, like like Shumagarath, but
It wasn't
no,
Shimmer.
You want
it
a
just
Star
ended
Roller
up as a
there?
big giant octopus from wherever the hell.
We used to use
Octopus.
Shimmer right in that Marvel's Capcom game though. That was we used to use
Oh
him
yeah,
at.
yeah, he was
Yeah.
good. Yeah.
He was a
And
beast,
he's
too.
gonna be in
He
Doctor
was.
Strange Multiverse of Madness too, I think, yo.
Okay. Yeah, he was.
Yeah, I heard this strong rumors. But yeah, nah, man, I expected it to be something I would know, other than just a giant faceless octopus. But it was. Her coming out to Fury and Hawkeye. That was crazy, and that's kind of scary for me at the same time, because I don't want them to bridge this what if universe to the regular MCU. Like, I don't want to see Captain Carter in cartoon form running in
What about a live
movie.
action Captain Carter? How would you like that? Just real quick.
I'd rather have Captain Britain.
Okay, all right. Just
Like I'm one of them. Like she has no comic basis for me. It's basically them creating a whole new character.
Yeah.
So
you know what I mean? Well, that's the thing. I'm watching these movies and shit because I read all the books as a kid. Those are all the stories that I wanted to see coming to life. I never brought Captain Carter comic books, so I don't have any basis in liking her.
So when things are not comic accurate, it doesn't. You don't like it.
Yes, it bothers me. Yes, and I'm sure Ant knows it's figured out by now. If something's not comic accurate, I'm gonna call it out. Like, wait a minute.
Oh yeah, I mean, what's cool is that for us having a panel of 4 people. You play a really good role because you probably the more comic.
I'm a nitpicker. Yeah, I'm definitely.
I'm not sure how deep he is in the comics, but I was big in the comics, but I was very specific, right? You like this and that. I was very like generic. I like Hulk. I like the X-Men. I like Spawn.
Hulk is my favorite character, and I didn't buy a lot of Hulk books because the stories were bland.
True.
I always found that his stories were boring because he's just a rampaging beast, and it was the same thing. He just fly to town, beat up whoever's wrecking the town, and leave. It was a boring book. I was more X-Men, Fantastic Four, Spider-Man, big ones, all the Spider-Man books. Like, he had like 6 magazines at once, and I'd buy them all. Like, it was crazy.
Yeah, I kind of agree. Like, I don't know how his show was so popular in the 70s. It's really a boring show.
Yeah, it was. But back then, we didn't have as much stuff to grab your attention. So I watched that show when I was younger.
I did too.
Yeah, me too. Oh, yeah, me too.
I liked it. I was a big fan of it. But back then, we didn't have as many. Like, a show now will have so many layers. This was just pretty much him going to a city. He meets somebody in distress. Somehow something happens. He got to beat a Hulk. And then the show ends, and he's hitchhiking.
Somebody beats him up.
Now, if they did that show now, you'd be like, "What is this garbage? Nothing happened."
Yeah, you would. Yeah. It's like super. It's so dry, and then the music makes it worse. It's so boring.
Yeah. But back then, that was the pinnacle of CGI.
I was so amped that they had it in the Edward Norton Hulk. They had like a little rendition of it at the end. I was like, "Oh my god, they got the song!"
Oh yeah, they did, yo.
Yeah.
All right, E, what do you think of the ending of the What If when she fought the octopus, went through the portal, came back on the other side?
Yeah, I thought it was dope. I really did. I thought it was dope, especially with Nick Fury and Hawkeye standing there. But I did kind of wish when she came through the portal, it was Nick Fury and Cap. That's what I wanted to see. That's how I wanted the What If to end. I wanted her to walk through the portal and boom, it's Cap. It's Steve Rogers Cap and Nick Fury.
Steve Rogers as Cap and Nick Fury.
Yeah.
Okay. So you're saying the whole. So you're saying like a different.
Hold up. How would that happen?
I don't know. It's multiverse, so that's what I was just thinking.
No.
That's the question, though. Does the Tesseract transfer you to a different dimension?
No,
like
different time.
It's just the time stones travels you through time, right?
Does that
it did go through time.
Space and
it's a space stone, the Tesseract, right? So it goes to space and time.
Hold up. This just pretty much put her in like a separate, they call it dimension, whatever, right? So she was just in there with creatures and all that. When she finally got out, because they built their machine and the years went by, 7 years, then she just jumped out into the same world. If she jumped out and Cap would have been Cap, because they made it seem like this was our only chance, right? Same thing with Cap. We all agree he's the only real super soldier. So she was the only real super soldier. So she jumped back and Cap was Cap. It would have been a little cheat. It like, damn, so I guess she didn't need it because we could just make anybody. It made sense for her.
And then the Tesseract was destroyed.
No, it wasn't. Where and what and when?
And what if? In the what if episode wasn't?
No, which fella had it? Howard had it. Remember at the end of it and stuff.
Oh, he still
it
had
was,
the
it
Tesseract.
was inside the Iron Man suit.
Inside the Iron Man suit. Yeah.
No, I thought he did the. He charged it up with some. Yeah, remember it was orange when he told him to get him back in the suit and had him power up the generator.
Yeah, because there wasn't no Tesseract. It wasn't no Tesseracts in it.
Right.
And then when they disappeared, when Peggy disappeared, she went into the Tesseract.
No, she went into
she went to the portal.
To the portal that they.
But the portal closed into the Tesseract, right?
No,
because if Howard still had the Tesseract at the end. Where the portal?
I think the stone was still there when she went to the portal.
The stone was still
I thought it was a big explosion or whatever at that point.
The energy is from the portals come from the energy of the stone, not the box itself.
The stone itself, yeah.
Okay. So in this case, she was transported 70 years into the future.
Correct.
No, hold on, wait. No. She was fighting for 70. I don't know how long her time was fighting, but she was fighting, and 70 years went by, and they pulled her out into the world she left, and it was 70 years later.
Yeah,
say it like that.
Yeah. So basically, like
now I got to go back and watch it again because now I'm more confused. I thought the Tesseract. I thought at the end the Tesseract was destroyed.
You know what, Dave? You know what helped me is I'm currently watching Manifest, which is the movie where they went on a plane. For them,
oh yeah.
It was like a day went by, right? Right. And for everybody else, 5 years went by. So that's pretty much what happened to her. Whatever time she was in, who knows how long she was there, but 70 years had passed, and then she got pulled back. So when she came back, she was technically herself however long ago. So the question is, how's her aging going to be or whatever? Because so what the switch was Cap was frozen for 70 years. She was just in another dimension for 70 years. You know, that was the play on this.
Manifest is amazing, bro. Surprised you're not done yet.
We're on episode 13 in the first season. We just get caught up. It took a while to go back. Yeah,
I got you.
We just always a week ago by like, damn, we got to watch it. So
Manifest.
You don't like Manifest, E?
No, I couldn't get into it.
What Manifest?
You know what I heard, E? I heard it gets worse. Actually, somebody told me like it gets kind of boring. So, and honestly, from what it started, I could see how it's changing, and I might feel like I may agree with that. But
every series is gonna have a lull in between, big story arcs.
It gets redundant, but it never gets boring. Like you're gonna yearn for more, like I am now. But that's off topic. But nevertheless, the ending. What about you? What'd you like about the ending of it, Tony, Anthony?
Well, let me read this real quick. Matthias says space dimensions is an aspect of space. Time is an interwoven, for lack of the better layman term, effect of space. Just to let you guys know, my man Matt is out there, bro. He's gonna be saying he wanted to be a quantum physicist when I met him in high school. I was like, "You want to be a what?" So when I say deep, he's just on and read everything. But anyway, thank you for that.
Where was he during the Loki show? He should have been on, man. That would have helped. His kids are really young, so it's hard for him to like.
I got you. He got like newborn, but yeah, he's bro. I would love his. Again, we was all on here like, who's this guy? And I didn't even know he was watching. He just wrote U.S. agent. I was like, oh damn, yeah, like he knows too much. But
sounds like my kind of guy.
Yeah, man, you and him will have conversations forever, man. Never. I'm telling you, I could literally be like, wait, I need to know something. Let me hit him up. And if he's available. But he left me and moved to Arkansas. What the hell, man? But anyways, I was cool with the ending, right? I didn't see her coming back into the future, but you know what? It made sense. Because like I said, it's a play on what really happened or what if. So when Cap was gone because he was frozen, she was gone because she was in another dimension. I was like, you know what, yo? And then it comes out and it's actually
Nick Fury and Hawkeye.
Nick Fury. I'm like, so I liked it.
Well played.
Yeah. And they both were the voices too. Nick Fury and Hawkeye. So they were perfect.
Yeah.
As well. Cool, all right, so let's move on to episode 2. Episode 2 was I want to save that because that was actually really good. Episode 2 was what if T'Challa became Star-Lord. That was the premise of the show.
Oh, that boy.
whatever. So,
Can I just
um,
say something real quick, Mike?
go ahead, bro.
When I heard, so I didn't know this was this episode because I'm trying not to be spoiled. So when I heard that was gonna be an episode, I was like, I think it's kind of stupid. Like, I don't really care to. All right, don't kill me. I'm not the biggest Black Panther fan, right?
Me
So I was
either.
just like, who cares? And I'm not the biggest Star-Lord fan either, right? I'm like, it's just boring me to death with whenever they get to this episode. However, that was the difference from actually watching it. Just saying.
Let's get right into that, man. What if T'Challa became Star-Lord? I think it was a good premise. I think the way they set it up, where when they came to get Star-Lord as a kid, they got T'Challa instead. I thought that was a good, it was kind of a cheat way to say what if, but it still worked or whatever for me.
Yeah.
What other people instead of going himself, right?
Yeah, he sent other people. Yondu sent Kraglin and Taserface instead of going himself and whatnot. But so Taserface still funny as hell, by the way. But the episode, man. I'm gonna save Dave for a minute because I know what Dave's thoughts are already.
Good. Yeah. Save Dave for last.
Yeah, I'll save Dave for last. E, what did you think of the episode, man?
And listen. Only T'Challa could pull that shit off. I'm telling you. Only T'Challa, yo. He killed it.
So hold up real quick, E. Let's do what you did last time, Mike. Let's break it down because let's not. If I say what I think of the whole episode,
well, not the whole episode.
I
just meant what you think, like good or bad. But I'll break it down. In the beginning, E, about them taking him instead of him, and like I said, using Taserface and Kraglin. And then the first thing you see is T'Challa going to get the orb, right? And then he meets Korath, and that whole scene. We thought of that. We thought of that part, bro.
I thought that was perfect for me because when Star-Lord did it the first time and met Korath and was like, he said, "I'm Star-Lord," and he was like, "Who?"
I know. I love that part.
I love the fact that when T'Challa took his mask off, he was like, Star-Lord, and he said his name. I was like, ah.
Yeah, that was dope. I thought that was dope.
Like, of course, Chadwick Boseman would be a better Star-Lord. Like, who? Like, come on, man. It was perfect. He wanted to be down. I loved every bit of that.
Yeah, he was a fanboy right away.
Yeah, straight fanboy.
Yeah.
All
right. And we thought about that whole scene, Anthony. I want to save Dave.
All right, so I will say this. Now I'm gonna sound like Dave from the last one. I kind of don't. Again, I'm making known. I'm not a big fan of the Guardians of the Galaxy. I feel like they're a little too silly for me. Me personally, like I said, a perfect movie for me was the Hulk movie with Edward Norton. It was not that much comedic elements to it. It was just, so I feel like Guardians of the Galaxy get borderline again. While I really didn't like the Suicide Squad, it was just over the border. And I felt like for me, this was probably what Dave was saying in the last one. For me, this felt more like a cartoon. Like this felt more like somebody could get hit in the head with a mallet in this one. Especially when it was like, oh, we took the wrong kid. My bad. I was like, wait, that's how you're gonna explain it? All right, I'm gonna go with it, but that was kind of stupid. But and even when he was like Star-Lord, they was really dolling up the comedy. But again, it was Guardian Galaxy-ish, but I felt like a little bit kind of, he was such a fanboy. I was like, wow, this really feels like the Saturday morning cartoon. But because it's based off of Guardians of the Galaxy, it worked. Now, for being based off Black Panther, I felt like, but it was more of a Guardians. I felt this was more of a Guardian Galaxy, just putting T'Challa in the Guardians of the Galaxy universe. So I felt like it worked, but it was borderline and getting me like, all right, come on, y'all being a little bit silly. After seeing Agent Carter, which was for me, that was probably the good balance of being silly in a cartoon. I felt like that was good, but I still liked it. But that was my only, gripes about it.
Okay. And I like a continuation. I'm going to continue in part. Before I get to you, Dave, is the part where he goes outside and we see Yondu. He meets Yondu too, or whatever like that. So I'm with E, man. I loved it. Maybe because I love comedy. Me and E always laugh together forever. So maybe because I love comedy. I like that he was a fanboy, but he still was like, go ahead and shoot me. Like I love like the mix for me or whatever like that. Even though I still like the first one, he's like, "Ooh, I like that part too," whatever like that. I liked. No, I didn't like. I don't like the whole getting the wrong kid. I think that's a very very cheap way to say what if. Like that could have been any. It could have been he got Tony Stark as a kid. Like I just feel like that was like a cheap way. Like the first one when they said, "What if she just said no? I'll stay here," and what would that happen instead of going to the gallery? I like that. Like that small decision made a chain of events. This one was like two guys made a dumb mistake. Like I feel like that's like
well, and you see what Matt said. It goes with what you're saying. He said.
Yeah. By the vibranium spear, which is right. He right. Like, yeah, that makes sense. And
when he said, "Does this look like him?" Well, I don't know. All Earth is look alike. So this was a good point that Matt made. But then they backtracked and made how stupid it was. Because maybe if they didn't show that, then it'd have been like, oh well, this worked. What Matt is saying. Matt, I like what you're saying, but this slaps that in the face.
But these are guys Rocket beat up. You got to remember this. Those are the sharpest tools in the shed when it comes to the galaxy.
Which makes it even more like you send those two morons to do a job like this.
That's what I'm saying. And the job was given to him by Star-Lord's dad, by Ego or whatever. Like that. You said no suit to do the fucking job. Like, come on, man.
Remember, he didn't respect that job anyway because he wasn't supposed to deal with kids.
I just think that they wanted to. Here's what I feel like. Honestly, I feel like they wanted to do what if T'Challa was Star-Lord, but couldn't figure out how. And let's just say, let's have him get the wrong kid. Like, it felt like they just like cheapened it to me or whatever. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
A little bit. Yep. So, but after that, I did like I said, that first scene of him with the orb and stuff like that. You know, I don't know if I like it better because I like Star-Lord's dancing in the first one, the music too. But
yeah, I was gonna say the music was in the first one. You can't. They didn't top that at all.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. The music, but the when Yondu comes, I love his little whistling thing or whatever he uses all the time, whatever like that. So that was first dope. Dave, man, we're looking for you, bro. And don't go into the whole episode yet. Just go to the first portion or whatever.
Yep. So when I saw this episode, or when I heard that this was gonna be the next episode, I was soup because I'm like, word. This is the what if I remember when they put different heroes in different characters' positions. So, and Ant hit it right on the head. He said that the first episode was the perfect balance of silliness and seriousness. It really was. It was like perfectly balanced. I'm like, okay, it's kind of slapstick, but whatever. I'll accept it. The moment I loved him in Wakanda, like as a child, questioning his father. I'm glad they brought the original father back, also, right?
Mm-hmm. Bye-bye.
Then the goofy mistake of them. Okay, I forgave them for that. I was like, come on. I was like, weak, whack. Oh, they just found the wrong kid. Like you were right there on the ship before you pulled off. You could have just dropped the kid back off and did it correctly. But yeah, whatever. Long story short, I forgave him because I'm like, okay, they had to get T'Challa in the ship somehow. Whatever. All right. From there, the Power Stone seed lost me. It went off a cliff. Once they had one of the most serious people in the world, all right, Korath, laughing and giggling like a freaking fanboy. I'm just like, yo, all seriousness, every bit of credibility is out the window with the show. As far as I'm concerned, I might as well watch Cartoon Network.
No,
because that's where we was now. I was like, please, I hope the whole episode isn't like this. I was like, if this is the only character that's like this, maybe okay, I can overlook it.
He was though. He was really.
We're gonna get later into the show. Yeah.
Hey Dave, but did this not feel reminiscent of the Suicide Squad? This is what you like, right?
Not at all. No, this is not reminiscent. That's dark comedy. This is stuff to make like a 5-year-old laugh. This is like Space Jam, LeBron Space Jam.
I mean, it was only dark comedy because it was heads getting blown off. But other than that, the comedic elements was exactly the same.
Yeah, the heads getting blown off with a perfect balance.
Okay. Hey.
And the guy getting stabbed.
Yeah.
But yeah. From there, I felt like, oh no, please don't let this. At that moment, I'm like, please don't let this show go off the rails. That's what I was feeling up to that point.
How you feel when they first brought Yondu, this Yondu?
Yeah, I always love Yondu, man. I tell everybody this. Out of all the MCU deaths that we've seen, I felt Yondu's the hardest. Seriously, like gotcha. I was like, damn, that shit can't. Get a little tear in my eye. Don't look at me, y'all. Nah, it's just it's something in this theater. But but that shit hurt. Like losing Yondu in that first one. He was one of my favorite characters. Like out of all of them, MCU is one of my favorite characters. But yeah, other than that, man, I still love Yondu in this too. I'm glad they got Michael Rooker back for it.
My boy Merle.
Yeah.
I feel like the episode that had the most real star cast. That's why I really loved it.
Oh man,
Josh Brolin, like, come on.
We're gonna get to that.
We're gonna get to that. We're gonna get to that.
So moving forward, man, they go on the ship and whatnot, and then they leave, and then they go at, I guess it's bar or whatever like that, and they decide to take Korath with them, and everybody's celebrating, and that's when we do see Josh Brolin's Thanos, and he talks about how he didn't snap because T'Challa talked him out of it, even though he's still saying it wasn't genocide, which I love that part, by the way.
I love that part.
And whatnot, and then we see him go to the bar and see Drax, and Drax's family is alive. He kind of fanboys too, or whatever, wants the picture. Then we meet Nebula. So what do you feel about the whole bar scene? Ed, or whoever, yeah, it's fine.
All right, do it. All right, first and back up. I'm not sure which okay, the silliness. I'm not sure which episode was better for me because I don't like too much silliness, but I get it's in Guardians of the Galaxy universe, so I gotta give it a pass. But bro, I was like, yo, is that Thanos? Because I still hold Thanos up high. I even was talking to somebody the other day, and they was like, yo, the Avengers game is making a comeback. I said, listen, they always got the ace up their sleeve. The moment it start going downhill, bro, they just throw a Thanos, a whole little thing. Thanos to me is, there has never been a comic book villain that is on a higher scale than Thanos to me yet, right? And watching movies, not,
Gotcha.
They just did Thanos so right. So for me, putting Thanos in because we're not getting there yet, but putting him in the episode, I was like, yo, wait, that's Thanos. First of all, I was like, yo, that's Thanos. And then I was like, and he's chilling and talking with them. Now, I didn't know how much he was going to be a part of it. But I was like, from where you stopped, I was like, yo, for me, that was enough to say bravo. Because I feel like will they really take it there and have like Thanos, even though this is a cartoon, but would they really have a lot of Thanos? Now, question for you. That I was like, they did a good job with voice. I'm like, is that Batista? Is not Batista?
It wasn't Batista.
Did it sound like him? But at moments where the dude was trying to sound like him.
Apparently, they never called him Batista. They said they did. He said they didn't, but whatever, it wasn't him.
Okay, so I was like, that wasn't bad. I was in from that. Once they had Thanos, I was like, and he was actually talking.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, that was a great scene for me. And it felt Guardian Galaxy-ish, and it felt a little bit Star Wars, like back then with Star Wars, they always go to the bar and all that.
They go to the cantina, yeah.
Yes, the cantina, yeah.
Yeah, E.
Man, I love that. That was a part. Yo, when he was talking, I was like, wait a minute. I know they ain't got my bro up here. And then he kept talking about genocide. What do you call him, Captain Genocide?
Correct.
Yeah, that was it for me, man. I
like that he was still trying to make his point like it was randomly selected, so it's not genocide.
Yeah, and he snapped at some point. That was great because I want to believe that the fans is what dubbed it the snap, right?
Right,
right.
Yeah, so it was cool that he didn't say snap, but he was like, and snap. I was like,
yep, that was great.
Yeah.
Only thing I will say, they got a little careless on when he was fighting the Black Order.
But we're not there yet. We're not there yet. We're not there yet. Ooh.
All right, this scene right here, the bar, Dave, all the way up until they see Nebula. What do you think about that, man?
So, I was at that previous moment. I was like, please don't let this go off the rails.
Right.
And then they just knocked it right off the fucking rails. Thanos is a clown. I'm sorry. Thanos is a clown. I will repeat. All right, a cartoon clown. So my question, one question, I'm going to nitpick this. If Black Panther was able to talk Thanos out of genocide, why did he do that shit in Wakanda before he ripped the stone out of his head?
He ain't doing it in Wakanda because he was Black Panther in Wakanda, and he had a whole different mindset compared to being with Yondu and them in the stars. That's a whole different lifestyle.
So
hold on, and also Dave, they didn't show him talking about it, so we don't know how that whole thing played out. They just said
exactly.
that.
I'm trying to imagine
but
the
listen,
Mad Titan,
or how long it took. He might have gone some over and over again. Right. If he had that much time in Wakanda, it was like 2 seconds or whatever. Like
or who he killed and destroyed doing that before he got the chance to talk about.
All right. So even if they made Drax an idiot, like
Drax. He's always an idiot. His same character. He was.
This was a super excitable. He's never been like this.
Same person. Yes, he was.
No, in the MCU, that's who he is. Not in MCU. Not in MCU.
No. This Drax this Drax was like 10 times more lively than other Drax, and I like the other Drax's reserved demeanor, but like that same sarcastic wit. This guy was just like cartoon comedy, like bro. Him and Cyborg from Teen Titans could have been the same character. Like,
hold on, Dave. What were we gonna say about Drax?
You didn't hear the sarcastic whip come out of Drax when he was like when T'Challa was like, "Oh, that took a day," and he was like, "No, it took 6 or 7."
Right.
He was definitely Drax, man. There was nothing missed. There was nothing missed on that opportunity.
And then Nebula. They gave him
T'Challa, the only person that made Nebula look good.
I didn't know they had a wig shop in space, but whatever.
I didn't like the way she looked, though. I didn't like the way she looked. I will say that. I didn't like the way Nebula looked.
And then, and then from that point, I'm just like, yo, okay. And then, see, one thing I don't like. Oh man, I didn't like it at all. I don't like too much silliness. In my Marvel.
You said the best
in my Marvel. No,
I'm not trying to hear that, bro. That movie.
Did I just say that, guys? I said in my Marvel. I don't like too much silliness in my Marvel. Leave all the silly stuff for DC. Let them do that. All right, that's kidding. That's like you have your kids watch
Dave,
DC
real quick
before you train
real
them
quick, Dave. You don't like Guardians 1 or 2? That's not.
I love them. They were 2 of my top 10 favorite movies ever, bro. What? I love the Guardians.
Well,
but they weren't in
this. That's why I don't like it because
you guys are
more silly. And this was in that. That's what it was supposed to be like.
No, that was way more serious than silly. They were. All right, what? These are just straight.
He be dancing around. War Machine knocked him out. You see how silly he looked?
That was funny. That was comedy. But honestly, the first Guardians of the Galaxy movie, when he was doing it through the credits, it looked badass. Admit it. You were like, you were ready for the dude. Whoever was behind that mask, you were ready.
A guy that walks around, a tree dude that says "I am Groot" the whole time.
Right.
Come on, man.
Don't insult Vin Diesel like that. That's the only 3 words he knows.
Hey, still family.
And family.
All right, let me move forward. So Nebula tells T'Challa what we think at the time is the plan to get these I guess, what do they call they grow planets basically.
The Embers of Genesis.
The Embers of Genesis, yeah.
Which is not a real thing in comic books. This is made up for the show, just to let y'all know.
Correct. But I think it will be moving forward, though. But anyway, MCU.
Because it looks like I saw it in the Eternals trailer. But we'll talk about that later.
Yeah. So the Embers of Genesis. We'll talk about it later. Embers of Genesis. And then they take the plan of Yondu. Yondu's not really feeling it, or he don't want to do it. You got the whole thing with Korath and Nebula and Thanos, because they're father and daughter, blah, blah, blah. And then, T'Challa once again talks Yondu into doing the plan on the ship. So we thought about that part or whatever. So
I felt that was actually natural, because you remember how he could never say no to Quill. If you can never say no to Quill, you definitely gonna never say no to T'Challa. This is still T'Challa we talk about here, man. Like I said, Cha-Cha. Yeah, oh girl, like the kids asked me. Like, kids is like, well, why does she call him Cha-Cha? I said, there's a lesson behind that you guys will learn when you're older. Cha-Cha. I'm telling you. Oh man, that was great. I can't believe Dave, man.
All right, let's go to Ant real quick. I just thought about the whole part with the plan all the way up to T'Challa and Yondu talking about doing it, and then Yondu finally agreeing to doing it. What do you thought about that?
So remember, one of the things I always said I like is when they I love the plan stuff, right? That's what, for me, that's what made, when you guys were talking about Infinity Wars was better than Endgame, I was like, no, because Endgame had the whole time heist, and I love the heist stuff. So the fact that they was like, okay, this is what we're gonna do. I'm a sucker for that from back in the day, watching Mission Impossible, and you know. So when that for me was like, that's up my alley, right? Oh, so you're gonna do this, and you're gonna go with that person. I was cool with that, and the fact that they had a little bit of beef about, oh no, and then they had to switch it around to like, okay, cool. And then I guess we're not going there yet, but yeah, it was, I'm good with it. I'm good with it. So far, the show was good for me up all the way up to this point. The silliness bothered me a little bit. Them switching the kids.
Yeah.
It is what it is. Yeah.
Dave, where you at with that part, up to that part, man?
That was actually one of the less offensive parts of the movies, because not movie, I'm calling it a movie, but it's a TV show, episode, whatever. It wasn't, I didn't say offensive, but
Right.
it was entertaining. I like Ant. I like when they lay the plan out for you and show how everything's gonna go. I had no idea what was gonna come next. At that point, and I'm like, okay, you know, I'm just hoping they get to the collector's room so I could see all the new Easter eggs they're gonna put in there. That's what I was hoping for. So yeah, I had the pen and pad ready. I was like, yeah, word. I'm gonna write down all these Easter eggs. I'm gonna show all these guys.
Can I ask you something real quick, Dave? You said you don't want this to cross to the MCU. So what Easter eggs were you looking for? Because anything,
Inhumans Easter eggs, any throwaway things that we know they're not going to use in real MCU. They'll put it in there. Gotcha. Yeah. So I was looking for little stupid things, you know, but then, you know, the whole planning sequence, like I said, it was okay to me. I like the acting, and I like the acting, the chemistry between Rooker, or not Rooker, but between Yondu and T'Challa. Yeah, I mean, I ain't gonna lie. If they redid Guardians of the Galaxy, I'd rather have Star-Lord as it than Quill.
T'Challa?
Yeah.
Wow, a lot of people saying that. That's interesting to me.
Yeah, I want to see it. I want to see exactly how it would turn out.
Okay, well, let me get to that. I'll get to that later on. But so with the plan, they finally say yes, so they go to do it. So, you know, in the beginning, like you were talking about earlier, I think he was, they got to go past the Black Order, approximately midnight. You know, the whole crew or whatever, and then they go see the Collector, and then to make a deal with him. Meanwhile, T'Challa's sneaking in. So it's Yondu and Nebula going to talk to him to try to make a deal, and eventually it turns out to be they think Nebula's double crossing them and stuff like that. They send Proxima Midnight outside because he's Thanos fighting or whatever the Ravagers, and they think she's double crossing them. And then T'Challa finds out that the Black Panther ship is there with the Collector, and that Wakanda is not destroyed. I'm gonna stop right there. How y'all felt up to that point? So, Ant, go ahead, bro.
Well, first I want to back up. Man, at this point, I know that that Thanos is on the team, and now I'm like,
right.
Yo, Thanos is actually in this episode, and he's a part of it, and he's gonna be fighting, and he's on the team. And then when I look at the team who they have, because I looked at it was like a play against Guardians of the Galaxy, right? Who they had versus who they have. I'm like, bro, Thanos is on the team. That was cool. Then
Drax.
Oh, go ahead. Huh?
I said Thanos was Groot and Drax combined, basically, for them. That was a heavy talk.
And then what was cool was who Thanos was, like. Thanos' boys in the MCU was now his villains. I was like, shut the front door.
They were his villains? But, they were security guards.
Okay, whatever you want to say. They was bad guys. He had to go against them.
They reduced the Black Order to security guards, bro. Like, I mean, they had old boy with the hammer watching TV monitors. Come on, yo.
Oh my god. Anyway, hold on.
You want a cup of coffee and a donut for this officer? Like,
what about the whole that whole part? You know, up until what I said, where T'Challa finds out that
sorry,
was still around. Now you good? You good?
So that was cool because that was a good little twist. Because I actually thought I was like, oh wow, I wonder if they're gonna show like who destroyed like. Wakanda. Like, are we gonna find out what actually happened? But it was a better thing for me to know that. Because here's the thing: I want you to have a what if episode and tie it up. Don't let me be like, go now what if, right? From episode. So you give me that half an hour, you tie it up, right?
Yeah.
So because then I would be like, are they ever gonna show what happened on Earth? I don't want to do that, right? I want you to like give me what you give me and let it end. And I'd be like, okay, cool, you know. So I thought that was cool to not leave that little extra out there to let it know, like, oh, they're really still out there. I was like, oh wow, that was cool. So I like that they did that with the ship and all that, and know that, you know, they wasn't really destroyed.
A, how about you? We thought about up until that point.
Good, because
The collector. How about the collector? We thought about him, like this collector, stuff like
yeah,
that.
this collector was crazy because he was big. You know what I mean? Like collector has never been that big. That well, rephrase that. He usually is bigger than that. But the way he was with the muscles and all that, yeah, he's never been like me. So
Ripped like that. Yeah.
Yeah, to see him like that, I knew he was a threat. Like I knew he was a threat. Not even Thanos and them could mess with. Because I'm like, the collector's never that big, and if he was, he probably would be that damn dangerous. But
Cool.
as far as my part was, like I said, with the Black Order fighting Thanos. I get like if they're going comic book style about her staff with the weight of a star, I get that part, him getting stabbed and being stuck down like that and couldn't get up, getting smacked with the hammer. I get that part, but that's only if they're doing that with the staff stuff. Because you know her staff is supposed, when she stabs you with the staff, it's supposed to put the weight of a star on you. So you can't move. It even happened in Avengers Infinity War when they were fighting and Black Widow stabbed the dude in the back with it, and he was like, I can't move. It happened.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. I like that whole part. I like this whole episode, to be honest with you. I like the whole, like I said, going past the Black Order, the Ravengers teaming up, like Ant said. I like Thanos. They play a major part, like Ant said, which was dope. I like the fact that T'Challa found out that Wakanda wasn't destroyed, because they can't destroy Wakanda, bro. In none of these episodes.
Yeah, right.
Like, that
right.
would
But
be like a. And first of all, it'd be like, yo, Wakanda's supposed to be like this impenetrable country. How the hell somebody destroy it? So it didn't even make sense in the beginning, or whatever. Huh?
How did he get T'Challa? It's like I always wondered that too. But he went outside the bubble, right?
Yeah,
he went outside the bubble. Yeah.
Okay.
So, but anyway, so I like that. I love how they had like the ship, and you can see like the Dora Milaje and how they was coming to try to find them and stuff like that. I thought that was dope. A lot of Easter eggs, stuff like that. And then I think that was when the whole Howard the Duck part, when he was coming up. I thought Howard the Duck played a good role in the episode, like a small enough that where you like, okay, we don't want too much more of him and stuff like that. I thought that was cool.
Yep.
And even some of the Easter eggs, I think they show like Malekith was in the was one of the boxes, stuff like that.
Else was in there.
Yeah, Dark Elves, yeah.
They was also in the Guardians of the Galaxy. That same person that was in there was also in the movie.
Got you. So I thought that whole part was good, man. I had no problems with it, but Dave, I'm waiting for you, bro.
So after they got caught stealing by the Caldor security guards from Walmart. They got caught stealing from Walmart. But nah, man. They didn't need the Black Order for that. I mean, straight for 100% for real. They didn't need the Black Order at all. They could have made it the Collector.
Bro, but it makes sense. If the Collector is so beast like Thanos was. Thanos had the Black Order.
What you need these little chumps? It's like me getting a bunch of fifth graders to bodyguard for me.
Well, what did Thanos lead him for then? He had a Black Order too, though.
Right. I didn't like Thanos. I didn't like Thanos from the rib. How you gonna play him out like that after what he did?
I'm saying he had the Black Order in Infinity War. He had the same Black Order.
But you know what? That's that. You be afraid of Thanos. Yeah, Thanos. In that one, he beat the hell out the Hulk. He killed Loki. Like, you better listen to him. Like, the Collector. Look, when I saw the Collector, even in the in the promotional material for it, I was like, yo, he's beast. I've never seen him that ripped before. You know, he's huge. He's a cosmic entity, but he's not like ripped huge.
You're sleeping on the Collector. This is a person that collects people and puts them in a container.
Right.
Well, yeah, he sees himself like
any species.
He sees himself like the savior of the universe. Like, if the universe ever goes to another big crunch or anything, he'll have one of everything to barter with.
So
Dave, let me ask you this, Dave. Why you just can't look at it like, okay, if it's a play on what happened, right? So if you had the Collector and now he's, let's just say, as powerful as Thanos in this universe, right? Who would be his like henchman, right? So why not make his henchman be Thanos' henchman? Why it can't be that simple? Because I thought I took it as that simple, like, yo,
with
that
all
was
the weapons he had, Collector could have been his own henchman.
Yeah,
Like,
but what I'm saying
Collector
is,
he didn't have
hold on,
henchmen in Guardians
wait.
of the Galaxy.
What I'm saying is, if he had a henchman, right? Because it's like they switch him and Thanos, kind of, sort of. If he had a henchman, who would you want it to be his henchman? Not that he didn't need it,
Black
because
Order.
then, like Mike said, then Thanos didn't need it, right?
They did.
But
They
gave
did
him
the Black Order dirty.
So what you mean? Galactus, the Galactus,
and Silver Surfer.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. What would you want to be his henchman?
What you want?
Is what I'm asking.
Guards, the Imperial Guards.
Imperial Guards.
Dang.
That wouldn't be bad, but nah. He didn't need henchmen, is what I'm saying. He could have used regular.
Bro, you can't be everywhere at once. You need, but anyway, that's not even. Let me go forward,
right,
bro.
Regardless.
Yeah.
Then are we discussing the fight and everything that went down too, or no? Not yet.
I ain't get there yet. No, I ain't get there.
Okay.
Yet.
Okay.
No.
So meeting the Collector. I'm glad they got a snag Benicio del Toro for it again. Yeah. The Howard the Duck again. That was just more off the rails. I'm like, bro, stop with him already, yo. Like, stop.
Original.
Who wants to see Howard the Duck?
He's the part of Marvel, though. He's the Marvel character.
You don't
Mark my words. I will never in my life go see a Howard the Duck movie or pay to see a Howard the Duck movie. Huh? I saw the first movie. I saw the first movie when I was like 6.
How many times you seen it though?
Maybe once.
No lie.
Twice.
No lie.
No, once or twice.
Yeah.
No, once or twice.
I'm
That's serious, dude. I never
seen
liked
Howard
it.
the Duck a bunch of times.
Me too.
Dude,
yeah,
it wasn't my kind of comedy then. I was too little to appreciate that kind of comedy. I ended up watching it again in my teenage years, but I ended up making fun of it. Because at that time, technology had moved so far ahead of that. We were past that Ninja Turtles, Howard the Duck costumes where
Howard the Duck used to come on like TBS. Everybody was stopping watching. It came
I never watched Howard
All right,
the Duck
so
on TBS.
I'm gonna show my age a little bit. I seen Howard Duck in the movies. I'm just saying, I was a little older, and
I saw it in the movies too. My father wanted to see it, and that's how I saw it. I was 6 years old, and they let me in to see that.
You're 6 years old, so
6 years old. They let me in to see that. It came out in '84, I think, right? 84, 85, around there.
So how
something like that, yeah.
Like when you saw the Duck Lady when he was going through the building.
I was like, that's my only favorite part right there. That was it.
Let's go to Howard the Duck.
If you ask anybody in the world who see that movie, they remember that part.
Moving forward, man. So we do get so they bring T'Challa to the Collector. They Collector's like, I have no use for you, just a regular human, basically, or whatever like that. He figures out how to break out, and then you do see what's his name? The Black Order dude, not Corvus Glaive, but the other one.
Maw?
Ebony Maw.
Ebony Maw.
Use his powers because he got the telekinesis power, which is always dope to me, or whatever like that. On T'Challa, and then the chick stabs him in the back. Forget her name. Who works for the Collector? Who was also the same voice from the movie, which is also dope.
Yeah.
Meantime, you see that Nebula tells Yondu and Korath that she was just it was a triple cross. And she's really here to help T'Challa.
Korath, like, ooh, you bad.
I love Korath this whole episode, by the way. I would rewind this stuff with Korath. Like,
me too. Me too.
Yeah. So anyway, Korath tells a triple cross, and they gotta all get out. Blah blah blah. T'Challa then tries to get away. We see the Collector and him where you're at, and stop him. He got the fist from what's his name? The one from Thor or whatever.
Corin, Corin, right? Corin,
no, the right? Rock dude. What's the Rock dude name?
Oh,
Korg.
Yeah.
The fist from Korg. He apparently
killed Korg, right?
Right, he killed Korg or whatever, and then he starts fighting T'Challa. They're trying to get out. Like you said, we got Thanos fighting the Black Order, which I thought was actually a good fight and to show how strong they were to me, Dave. But we'll get there in a second like that. We thought about that how the fights are starting up, stuff like that. We thought.
Well, I want to back up a little bit. I did think it was kind of cheesy how T'Challa broke out. I was like, I guess that they're,
plot device.
But
plot device.
I agree with that too.
Cheesy. I'm like, how the hell he's gonna get out? It's a wrap. And then
vibranium.
I know, but
It's the answer to everything, yo. My back hurt. Vibranium.
No, it really is.
What we eating for dinner today? Vibranium.
let me give a shout out to BBRR is in here. It said, don't forget they have the team with him. Now notice that's how you know he's a threat. Yeah. They talking about the collector.
Yeah, he's a collector.
But yeah, I mean, I thought it was a good scene. You know, this was getting close to the climactic clash, you know, where you got to have that, you know, battle and stuff. So I was all in, man. At this point, I was all in. I mean, I don't care too much for the silly stuff. I was nitpicking him breaking out with the vibranium, but I figured, you know what, it made sense to make that really powerful. And I guess I'm trying to think what should have let the collector know that the vibranium could have broke this, because he's collecting everybody. So how does he not know? But I guess maybe he never had somebody, maybe he never dealt with vibranium, even though he had the ship. So I don't know what on the ship could have been vibranium, but I was in on it though. It was good.
Yeah, the whole ship's vibranium, but you got collector's not going to use the shit. He's holding it.
Bro, I'm looking at the picture right now of the shirt you're talking about. Did you have a cutoff shirt of the I'm not gay with 20 for 20? I'm looking at the picture.
Yeah,
right
so
now.
when we went, even though it's got nothing to do with nothing, but
I'm sorry, buddy.
But yeah, I went to the store and the guy was like, asked us what size you want. I said, I want a small. And then he was like, oh, wait, I got you. I know what I'm going to do for your shirt. So that was his idea. I was like, I don't care, whatever. So it was kind of cool because it worked out.
Yeah, Eugene posted it. That's why I'm going to do it like that. Okay. But anyway, yeah. So yeah, the cheesiness of the vibranium was, I didn't like that either. Okay, like they could have made it even if they want to use the damn thing from his necklace, make it more intricate. Not just he like hits the wall, like hits the glass. Like that.
Yeah,
was
he just bust out. That's all. He just bust out.
Yeah, like come on, man. You gotta do a little bit more.
What they should have did, they should have had like when they was like, oh, because all they said was, well, what if he gets caught? Oh, well, he got an ideal of breaking out. They should have been like, oh, they should have just said he figured out that the collector never dealt with vibranium and whatever. They should have real quick said, like, spelled it out. But they just was like, you'll get the ideal. And I was like, that was kind of cheesy. But if they had it a part of the story of, you know, it would have been better.
He's been through hella missions before this, so we don't know how many times he used that necklace on his neck.
I don't have a problem with that. I just have a problem with it just being as simple as he just broke. I could get him being like, oh, I'm pretty sure what they don't show or say is he was like, oh, the vibranium is the strongest metal where I come from. I bet you it's gonna break out. It'd just been nice if they said it, you know, if they kind of like spelled it out. Because remember, it's like that Mission Impossible. As he was doing whatever, they was talking in the background of this is, you know, they always do that. This is what's gonna happen, and he do it, right? It could have been like, oh, he has a way to break out of it because of his vibranium necklace. Just said that.
But see, why would they do that when it's people like me that when I saw it, as soon as I saw the necklace, the first thing I thought was, oh, he got a Black Panther suit on his neck, and he don't even know it. That's what I thought.
That's cool, but that got nothing to do with him breaking out of it.
They would have really. You think they would have really gave the purple sheep herb to an 8-year-old boy?
Nah,
I mean, it's
that's some fucked up shit if they did. Basically, he has to die.
He wasn't trained yet, man. He wasn't ready back.
Yeah,
you gotta win a battle, right? You gotta win a battle on a mountaintop or some shit.
You gotta do a lot.
Yeah, you gotta
do a lot.
You gotta do a lot.
I'm just saying that the lack of explaining the vibranium was strong enough to break out of people who are trapped for their whole life and can't get out. I was like, man, that's a little cheesy, but that's all.
All right, hey, we thought about that whole beginning of the fights, him breaking out, Ebony Maw, Thanos, and the Black Order starting to fight. We thought about that whole part.
All right, so I enjoyed that part. I enjoyed when Ebony Maw took the broken glass and wrapped it around his wrists and boots, and his ankles. I was like, woo! You know what I mean? I wish they could show blood, but I know they couldn't. But I enjoyed that part. Like I said, the Thanos part, I was a little. I feel he should have been able to dust them two off, like easily. I really feel he should have dusted them two off easily.
I don't know about that. What about you, Dave? How you felt about the whole part?
Yeah, I definitely think that without any kind of purple shaped herb, Yondu not so much because Yondu's Kree, they should have neither of them two should have been a problem for the collector. The collector should have mopped them straight up, especially T'Challa. Like T'Challa's
He
just a
was
human
mobbing
being.
T'Challa until Yondu came. He was
Yeah.
mobbing.
Yeah. But when I say mocked him, I mean like 2-3 hits. You're getting hit by a cosmic being, bro. Especially one that got like stole the planet steroids or whatever and got as big as he did. All right. But whatever, you know, it's the show about T'Challa, so it ain't gonna have him just getting laid out. Plus, it's a cartoon, so I'm sure a train could have hit him and he would have been all right.
Let me ask you this, Dave.
See,
How'd you feel about the stuff that the collector used? You know, stuff he had. He had
I was actually touching on that. So there was a scene where T'Challa broke out of his cell and was looking for, like, I guess the artifacts. So he met Howard the Duck. Dude, it was almost the same Easter eggs we saw in Guardians of the Galaxy. It's the same ones they gave us here. They hardly gave us nothing new. That being said, the stuff that he used is a little weird because if you're thinking about where this takes place, how did he get Cap Shield in 2008 when he was still in ice? We'll just leave that there. He had a Mjolnir. He wouldn't be able to use it because he's not worthy. So why even have it there? Who put that there? Right? Like, somebody would have had to put Mjolnir there. Right? Am I right, guys? Or no?
Right, Josh.
Right.
Now I'm reading what Josh said right now.
I think I put this up. We was reading it. I just want to give Josh credit because he's thinking of stuff we wasn't thinking of as far as talking about the property and the IP. But Josh, I feel like you was shortening how popular IP is by not explaining and giving the power of vibranium, right? I don't even think they said the word in the show. So it'd have been cool if they actually said, like, oh, his metal on his thing, he said is so powerful, he could use that to break out the glass. That's all I would like to hear. And it would have, to your point, it'd have been like, oh, wow, yeah, you know. But I feel like they, you know, did disservice by not saying that.
Yeah, but then the whole fight scene, and then they do the whole Yondu steals the wrist gauntlet. It was just, at that point, I was just like kind of waiting for the show to be over so I can go play some video games. I'm like,
the same move Iron Man did.
Yeah, exactly. He's like, except Iron Man used nanotech. This guy somehow just jury-rigged it off his wrist and collected it and see him doing it. Like, whatever.
Yo, if you pay attention to the collector, the moment he threw Yondu, he knew it was missing. The moment he threw Yondu, he looked and was like, "Oh."
I would have known before. I would have known before that because there's no way you're getting that off my wrist without me seeing it.
How do you know? How you know it's like locked? How you know it's not just like a slide on and off? You don't know what it is. Whatever.
Right. Like,
if it is slid off, he had him like this. So how you gonna slide that off?
I don't know.
Well, it was cool
I think you really
here's the thing.
Dave. Yeah.
Here's the cool thing. It's a cartoon, but it was cool because they did, and it's based off the Guardians of the Galaxy, so they're dumb as hell anyway. But it was cool that it was like, oh, let's do our sticky thing or whatever. It was like, oh, and you're gonna be the one. Like, it's that comedic, you know,
Guardians of the Galaxy is
undertone
one
of
of
the
the
Guardians
best.
of the Galaxy.
Guardians of the Galaxy is one of the best movie franchises out there. You gotta put some respect.
So
on
why are
your
you
name,
nitpicking
man.
this? They do the damn near the same thing.
This is cartoon. You gotta understand the cartoon is.
So you could actually give this a little more of a pass,
right? Because my man was,
I did, but at least take the characters the way their personalities, the way they were in the MCU, as I remember them, and still let them retain that.
You can't because what if?
In the MCU,
so
hold up. In the real
what
MCU,
if they might have had a different personality too?
In the real MCU, could you ever see Korath being a fanboy of anybody?
Bro, once again, it's what if. So it's also what if they had a different personality. Everything's what if. Everything could be.
That's all right. That's my problem. Then my problem is the personality they chose to give him. I will say this. I don't like this one.
Let me hear from E. Go ahead, E.
Korath was a Ronin fanboy. What you talking about?
He wasn't all, oh, Ronin, I'm so happy to see you, Ronin. It wasn't that. He was like, who do you want me to kill, sir?
Hold up. So he didn't do that. He didn't hold up. He didn't do that clown mess when Ronin threatened Thanos, and he was like, oh, Thanos is the most powerful being in the world. He didn't do that cornball stuff. Yeah, he did.
Nah, that wasn't for comedic laughs, yo.
He still
But it's a cartoon, bro. That's the whole point.
Okay. You could have a cartoon and have seriousness. That's what anime is.
That's
what I thought. That's what I thought. This was more. The What If series was streaming to be more toward.
All right, can I
like
say something?
A serious cartoon, not a campy, funny cartoon.
Dave, here's the thing. You got to think about it, right? Let's just get into a little bit of what Josh is saying, right? When he mentioned the IP. I'm gonna get on the business side. why not use IP as popular as Marvel and be able to suck kids into it as well? You know, we're grown adults debating this for over an hour, so you know we watched it. But now you're able to get kid like E said, the kids are like, but they watching this, so that's brilliant. Now, yes, you might be a little like, come on, yo, but for to be able to pull us all in like that, so we got to give them credit as far as money wise, right? And people, like, if you look at the numbers, man, so many people are probably watching this, you know.
And also it's Disney. Remember that too. And number three, it's what if. So everything could be different. Their personalities, their R.I.P. Chadwick. That's at the end. I want to get to that too. Their personalities, their decisions, all of it and whatnot. I feel like he was raised different. He saw with his dad, then went over the story of Wakanda over and over again. That's true.
I just didn't like the personality they chose. I would have liked them with serious Korath. I would have liked them with serious Drax. I would have liked Thanos to be not. Hold on.
The only thing I'll say this: I agree with Korath, but Drax being serious. What Drax?
And Thanos? And you're right with Thanos. Like, I know people that got mad because the Hulk got beat up by Thanos.
He was.
But then people that got okay with this Thanos. Oh, I kind of learned the nature of my ways. I talked it out. Like, what?
Yeah, I was cool with it because I feel like it just all showed is. Here's the thing.
Hold up. He don't talk. All he did was talk in Infinity War.
No. He don't talk shit out. Put it like that.
Hold on. What did Thor tell you? Talk too much.
Huh?
Thor
Bro,
told
he talks
too much.
He talks while he's beating you up. Like he talks all the time.
When he
was talking,
but when he was talking junk to the 3 last Avengers that was standing outside, and Iron Man cut it short and was like, yeah, we all kinds of stubborn. He talked too much, bro.
But I'll say this, even this, Dave. Here's the cool thing with Thanos. He's the one villain. He always had reason. He even believed that his thing is the right thing to do. So it makes sense if they said, "Oh, they talked him he talked him out of it," because Thanos' whole thing is, again, with reason. Like, he's not just the evil guy that's trying to kill half the universe. He really believes that, dude, we're being overpopulated. If we randomly got rid of half the population, we'll survive as a universe, right? So it makes sense for him to be that. Actually, it seemed like he had a conversation to kind of talk him out of doing that. He seems like the being with reason.
Yeah, and he was able to accept another way, even though he still feels it's not genocide. He said it the whole episode. It's not genocide. It's not genocide to him or whatever like that. But also, now, how you like, Dave? You forgot to mention about when he became Hela, the collector.
Okay, so that I guess I wasn't made aware that Hela's power came from a fucking hat she wore. I thought she was the goddess of death and she was just exuding necroforce, but apparently I'm wrong. It comes from equipment, and she's just a regular old woman.
Yeah, no, she's Asgardian. She can't be a regular woman.
Yeah.
They messed that up.
That was cool though, yo. I was like, they added that in here too.
Yeah,
yo.
At that point, they must have had somebody at Disney with a shotgun at somebody's head, and they were like, 50 Easter eggs, it better be in here. He just ran out of shit. He's like, I'm just gonna put the.
I thought the Hela part worked. I thought the cap shield is everywhere. Cap shield was in Free Guy. I just watched that 2 weeks ago. Like, cap shield is everywhere. So that's just like a popular item. Like, it's a visual spectacle or whatever like that. So that was for that. But I thought the Hela thing, it actually worked or whatever. And story was an explanation of the star. Josh said story was an explanation of the stars. It became for the stars. Yuri. Oh, that's from the Black Panther he's talking about or whatever. So
I think he's trying to go on because they didn't explain that you could break out of the case.
Yeah, Uru was actually the most powerful, followed by adamantium, followed by vibranium.
I think Uru was the most,
and then
powerful,
followed by carbonadium after that.
Yeah. There's nothing more powerful than the Uru metal and whatnot.
Yeah. Tony Stark. Remember, Tony Stark had that
Uru is the metal that Mjolnir is made by.
Yeah,
Uru is the metal
it's like a stone, like a magical metal stone.
That the metal that Hela broken to pieces. Yeah, that one.
Yeah. And that they had to use the glass from a star to create it. And that my man stand through it. Wow.
Right. Uru's the metal that went through Thanos shooting all 5 Infinity Stones and flipped through it and got him in the chest. That's that metal or whatever.
Yeah, that's
That's that metal.
Uru
That's all.
the metal that beat Cap Shield and broke it.
Yeah, the same metal. You're right. It's the same metal. Exactly. And whatnot. Yeah,
But
exactly.
also-
Josh, Uru metal is on Thanos' sword that broke Cap's vibranium
Nah, it
shield.
can't be. I don't think anybody would have any Asgardian would have made him an Uru sword.
No,
They're not Asgardian. The elves make that. Yeah.
the elves made that.
Yeah, but they only made him the gauntlet. They didn't make him that sword.
No, they
He
made
been had that sword. They've been made that because they were forced to by him.
Yeah, they said he had the sword. He just ain't used it when he got the gauntlet.
Who said this?
The director.
Yeah, they did. They said he been had the sword because
He
was a fighter before. Just going
He had the
planet to
sword in
planet
2014, right?
He didn't had it before that.
Yes, he
Yeah.
had the sword before that. He didn't use the sword.
Okay,
Got the
I'll
gauntlet.
talk about the end game. Thanos end game. He had that sword in 2014.
Right.
He brought it out. Then. So he had it. So he had it before he started his quest for the stones.
Correct.
Exactly.
All right.
Yeah.
So he's been the Nidavellir before.
Yes.
Yes.
They know who he is. Why do you think he came back there for the gauntlet?
Yes.
He came back there for the gauntlet because he probably had the sword made, saw the gauntlet thing, left, and came back and was like, "Yeah, they're gonna make this for me." I saw it.
They should have talked him out of it. Sorry.
They should have.
Anyway, bro. Now we're at the end, and we go to they defeat the Collector.
And his security
they all
guards.
get away, and security guards. T'Challa takes his ship, his regular Black Panther ship, and then they all get together and they go to Wakanda. He brings everybody with him, and then he meets up with his family after 20 years and have a big party.
Right.
We all thought about that whole part or whatever. So,
it was a nice ending to that. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, it was just the icing on it because once I found out Wakanda wasn't destroyed, then you kind of want them to do something with it, right? And that's actually where Thanos had his conversation and snapped his finger. It was during that scene.
Yeah.
But that was a good touch for me. I was cool with it, man.
Yeah.
You know, he has 4 more episodes.
Who?
No, 3 more
He's
episodes.
in 3 more. He's in 3 more.
He's in 3 more episodes. Yeah.
T'Challa?
So I don't know if they're gonna. I don't know if they're
what Star-Lord T'Challa. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if they're gonna intertwine these universes that they're creating.
I know
they are
during the series.
Yeah.
So you're gonna have Captain Carter side by side with Star-Lord.
Correct. Star-Lord T'Challa. Yeah, exactly.
Party Thor.
That's gonna be so weird.
And Doctor Strange.
It's what if,
I'm sorry.
Spider-Man.
What if they did better on this series? Sorry. That ought to be episode 10. What if we did a better job?
Oh,
but
anyway, last thing is we see the final shot of Ego going to get his adult now son of Peter Quill saying, "Hey, Dad." But then not Ego, what's his name? The Watcher says that, without Quill becoming Star-Lord, now Ego will be able to make Star-Lord go bad. So how you thought about that whole last part?
I loved it.
Well, not go bad, but he's going to take him and use him as that battery.
Right.
Yeah,
that's what it is. So he said this spells the end of the world. That's how usually that's a lot. That's actually how a lot of What If comics ended. Was like with the bad thing, which is why it had to happen the way it did. Because if it didn't, world destruction.
This would happen.
Yeah,
and the Dairy Queen was a good touch. How do you work at the Dairy Queen where their man used to be with your mom's at? Like, that's crazy.
That's messed up. The manager probably tell him, like, I remember your dad used to be back there behind
Right. That's crazy.
Yo, mama was a hoe.
That's the only job he had as an adult. Like,
right? For real, yo. Still mopping. 30 years old. You still mopping. Bro.
I was just saying. All right, well, listen, that's What If, man. Episodes 1 and 2, so we don't drag this out, man. So
let me give my point about the end, though.
I'm sorry, go ahead, Tony.
For me, I thought it was a nice touch. And when it first, I try not to look at the credits, but I saw his name, my man Kurt Russell. I seen his name. I was like, oh wow. So I knew he was gonna be in there at some point. You know, he was from one of the most epic movies. You know what old Jack Burton used to say? Come on, you know what that's from, right? Big Trouble in Little China. AE.
Yo,
No, that's probably go down as history. One of my favorite movie lists. But anyway, hey, but it was cool to see that part. I just knew that I don't think they're ever gonna do anything. But I feel like these things they make a one and then they give it to you and it's pretty much done, which is cool. But I feel like that was a good touch to end it because since we seen T'Challa as Star-Lord, wonder what the hell Star-Lord was doing, right? Because he didn't get picked. So bravo.
I think they wrapped it up in a nice little bow, man. I agree with that 100%. Yeah. So if you were to, I guess, rate real quick, that's what he said before, the episodes 1 and 2 so far, what are you giving the series, E? 1 to 10, what are you saying?
1 to 10.
Visual was a machine. So
yeah, I'm giving it for real. I'm giving it an 8 or 9 because my kids was watching.
Okay.
Like it's tomorrow.
How old are your kids?
11 and 9.
Okay, yeah, that's good age.
Listen, my 11-year-old is in here right now because of that show. He really they really enjoyed it. They never came to nothing else.
So E, you gave me the extra points because it helped you babysit.
Kept these kids quiet for 30 minutes.
You're right. He was like, I'm giving it an 8 or 9 because my kids watch. I'm like, wait, you doing that now? You doing that now?
I guess TJ like it too because of that, huh? That's hilarious.
I heard that argument before with Space Jam. It's the same thing. My kids like this, so it's got to be an Oscar winner. Like,
right? Like, hold on.
They didn't watch Space Jam. They wouldn't watch it.
Smart kids.
Dave, what are you saying, man?
Hold on. Before you go to Dave, hey, hold on. Hey, E, could you lock it in, man? Could you give me either an 8 or 9, 8.5? Could you lock it in? Don't float it. Lock it in.
Lock it in with an 8.5. I like that.
All right, cool.
Dave?
All right. First episode or second episode?
All together so far in the series.
All together so far. Woo. This one really brought the bar down. Right now it's gonna be like a 6, maybe a 6.5. No, I'm lying. Like a 7.5. Okay. Like a 7.5 right now, and that's
kind of what you say. Yeah, it is. Okay.
That's being generous. I really want to go in the 6 range, but it's Marvel. I can't do that. 7.5 for right now. But that could change as we go on. That could change. So
go up.
Possibly could go up. They could save it. Possibly could go up. Remove some of the silliness, and I'll be straight.
You know me, I'm not big into silly stuff, but I think because it's a cartoon, I can let it slide. And I think because it's Guardians of the Galaxy, like the silliness in the Carter one, I was fine. It was just enough. The silliness of Guardians of the Galaxy is like, but I already don't really like silliness of Guardians of the Galaxy, so it's source material, right? They're keeping it real to source material. Honestly, guys, from the 2 things, I was really impressed with Thanos being in it. I really like Agent Carter being picked to be the Captain America, and then they got me with him having the Iron Man suit in a different way. It's super big. The fact that Thanos was in it and Thanos had to go against his boys, they picked them to be the bad guys. I'm like, I'm going with a 9.
Okay.
I'm going with a 9. I'm impressed. I like it. I'm into whatever. Yeah, man.
Okay. I mean, the first one I wasn't as impressed with, even though I did enjoy it, but I wasn't. The dialogue wasn't that good for me in the first one. The fighting was good, the action was good. The dialogue, I hated that fucking the captain dude who they used, who didn't want her to go on war and stuff like that. He bothered me so much, but I still did. I liked it, and they didn't have Tommy Lee Jones. That bothered me too, or whatever.
What was that?
I like that. But I did like I loved this. Like, I was rewinding the second. It took me like an hour to watch the second episode. I kept rewinding parts because it was so good and funny and the core rap and stuff like that. And that's me. I'll rewind a part of a show if I like it. Like, that's how I watch TV. So I'll probably watch it again. Episode. It was so good. So between the 2, I think I'm right where E is at 8.5 right now. I'm not quite at 9 yet because I want to leave room to go up. But I'm gonna say 8.5 right now for me. And whatnot. So,
It's a 30
but
out
yeah,
of 10. I think you
Dang.
meant to put 3.
Wow.
That might be a typo.
That's them kids.
God.
That's your
That's
son.
the kids. He was
Hold up. And is BBR
30 out of
BBR
10.
saying it's the 2000? I'm not sure. BBR, but
That's
but yeah, wow.
Okay, Killer Cam.
Wow.
Killer Cam just lost a
man.
versus 2 weeks ago too. Whatever. Like,
And I'm gonna say something crazy. Y'all ready? This real reckless. All right, this real reckless. Y'all ready? This real reckless.
yeah.
From these first 2 episodes. All right, so look, we had WandaVision, we had Falcon Winter Soldier, we had Loki. I personally like Falcon Winter Soldier better.
Yeah.
I like WandaVision lesser because the first 3 episodes for me was trash. Loki was decent, but I don't really care for his character. But me personally, just these 2 episodes of What If, for me, is my favorite series out of all the 4 Marvel series.
Okay.
So that's saying a lot.
Wow.
But
Well,
we
if I
don't know
were-
where it could go from here, right? I only got 2
Well,
episodes.
if I were to do that, since he already did that, then I would still put. I got Loki 1, WandaVision 2. I'll put What If 3 and Falcon Winter Soldier is my least favorite out of all stuff like that. So,
Swap those last 2 for me, and I'm straight.
Mine.
I go WandaVision, Loki. WandaVision and Loki could you could flip either one of those.
Yeah,
too.
I know. Yeah.
Falcon and Winter Soldier next. That's the worst of the live action series, and then What If is just What If.
Nah,
Yeah.
So,
Loki, Falcon and the Winter Soldier, What If, and then WandaVision.
you really hated
I love-
WandaVision that bad.
I love that we're all different though. I
What?
love that every order. I love it so much.
Ooh.
You can tell like what keeps our interest is different for each person and whatnot. So
Yeah.
I like that or whatever. So I think that's
That's
pretty.
dope. That's dope.
That's pretty.
Yeah.
My
By
only
the way,
problem with
anybody
Falcon
watch
and the Soldier.
Titans?
Nah, I never watched
Sorry.
that.
Which one?
And look, your girl like
nobody's watching Titans at all.
Nah,
Like,
I never watched the
My
beginning
boy
of it.
Mr. Urban World is.
All right. That Red Hood mask is killing me. I can't.
Yes, thank you, yo. Thank
Yeah.
you. I always say the same thing. Thank God somebody's watching it, yo. Yeah, that red hood mask is like, what the hell, yo?
Well, since we're done
Like-
with this show and now moving off topic,
Yeah.
whatever like that.
Sorry.
We're done with-
Sorry.
No. You're
Sorry.
fine because I want to
Yeah.
move forward. So we're done with What If. We'll talk about that again in 2 weeks, guys. But I know Anthony didn't. Any of you guys watched the Eternals trailer that came out?
Woo!
Did
Come on,
I?
man, you gotta watch it, bro.
I'm afraid to, man. I feel like it's gonna reveal too much. I don't like
It's not.
that.
And it's the
when we
final
get
trailer,
too
bro.
close, whenever
It's
we
coming
get
out in
too close.
November. Yeah, 3 months.
Yeah,
2
you're in
months.
November, bro.
All right, so maybe this should be the last trailer because I
It
feel like
is.
the
Don't
last
watch it
trailer
anymore.
ever come out, they always just go extra. You're like,
Nah,
I should have never watched it.
It said it's the final
It's the
trailer, which is crazy.
Last trailer.
Yeah.
So
No,
it's
it's
not
not
gonna.
the final trailer.
That
They
is
gotta
not
have
too
it
much.
10 days. They gotta have it 10 days before trailer.
Oh,
They're
yeah,
gonna have
final
it.
That's the
trailer.
worst.
Shorter version.
When they had the 10 days before, they almost act like you've seen the movie. Like now we're just gonna show you all the stuff that happened. You were like, yo, hold on, wait.
The final trailer for those who watch, get you guys amped to watch the movie. You guys, and I mean,
I'm amped. I can't wait. Personally, I can't
Right.
wait for Eternals. I can't wait for
Well,
Shang-Chi
here's my
next week,
thing.
man. Woo.
Well, here's my thing. I was already amped, so I feel like, do I even like? I even said to Mike, like every time we talk about movies, like I can't wait for the Eternals. So I feel like, do I even need to watch it? Because I already can't wait. So I'm afraid it's gonna show me too much, and I'd be like, I already can't wait. So why even watch it? Right?
I mean, it's up to you.
I don't know.
That was
That's
a
my
good trailer,
thought
though.
about it. But
And Shang-Chi is week after next week, I think, right?
Yeah, no, September 3rd.
you know what though?
So
I'll
8,
say
11
this.
days. Yeah.
They might show it because for me, I love trailers. So if I go sit
Oh.
down in the movie and they show it,
They're
they
probably
might
showing
show
the
it during Shang-Chi. So
Yeah,
yeah.
they'll show that Shang-Chi. There you go.
So Dave, you going to the movie theater? Because not on Disney Plus. Shang-Chi.
I'm going to the dine-in, the one that has the 2 seats next to each other for me and my
Okay.
girl. And that's
Okay.
the one we're going to. I won't go. I'm not going to a packed theater, bro. Nah.
Hey,
I
question.
told
So
you. I
are
told you. I
they
went
done?
to one. I've been on one packed theater, man, and never again, yo. Never
Yeah.
again.
Are they
No.
Are they done now with the Disney Plus movies
Yeah,
coming on?
they're done for
Yeah,
Disney Plus.
yeah, they're not doing that no more.
So,
Okay.
The woman's movie came out, so they.
What was it called?
The woman's movie, Black Widow, the chicks movie. So they were like,
Oh, wow. I thought it was supposed to be one more
They-
movie after Black
we're
Widow.
gonna change the rule.
Jungle Cruise.
Ooh, we're gonna change the rule after we
Oh,
get the chick.
okay.
We're gonna change the
Gotcha.
movie.
Yeah, the Jungle Cruise. Was
So
on
yeah,
Disney
so
Plus,
now
man.
they're not doing that premiere access no more.
Nice.
I can't stand.
So everybody,
That really like that hurt. That bothered me. That bothers me.
what? No more
About what?
Disney Plus?
With the not the early access, man. Come on, man. I was
Yeah,
enjoying
I
that.
loved it. I love it. I wish they do it.
You
Every
guys
movie,
are missing
yo.
out, man, on the theater experience, man.
No,
You're getting
dude,
it
you
back.
ever eat cheese fries and burgers watching a movie like and not pay $35 for it? Make your own?
Chinese
Like,
food
bro.
and-
Yo,
your own-
if I gotta go to the bathroom, I could pause it.
Bro,
Right.
man,
That messes.
ruining your whole experience now. Yeah,
I like to
Experience
be.
is me watching the
I like
movie,
to
not
be-
the people around me. Forget all that.
No, I like to
That's
be
definitely part
locked
of the
into the
experience.
movie, right? Where
Nah,
I'm
you know
going
what?
to the
If I don't
bathroom
hear
before the movie
sometimes in
starts.
the movie, right? And tell me this don't happen. Any they'll say something that you didn't quite understand, and you'll wish you had that remote to be like, wait, say, because somebody was laughing through the track. Everybody was laughing, like somebody will make a comedic line, and everybody will, and then they'll say something back. You won't hear it. I hate that.
I'm gonna say this, bro. There's first of all, you can't match the experience no matter what you do. We and talked about this. That's number
No,
one.
you
Number
can't.
two,
But you know what? Sitting on my couch watching Black Widow, it was dope, yo.
I mean, it's
Like,
Black Widow,
I
so I can see that or whatever.
Any
But,
movie, I was
number
sitting
one.
here like, if I
Number
can
two,
watch
there
anything
is
like
something
this.
called communal viewing. Things are bigger when everybody's watching it together. So like they got a whole scene, they got a whole YouTube video of when Thor came to Wakanda, how the audience, how crazy it was, or whatever. In every theater across America. It's called
Oh
communal viewing.
yeah. I was probably one of the videos.
It's much
I'm the type of
different at
dude who
home.
stand up screaming, like, yeah.
Yeah. And thirdly, it's just that like I'm with Ant, like I can't stop and come back. I'm so distracted at home.
Yeah.
Like I'm checking
Bro,
my phone.
a movie experience is for me. Like I'm going, right?
It's an
And
outing.
once I get in it, my daughter last movie went is calling me. I ain't answering it. Yo, if I'm going to the movie,
Oh yeah, I don't answer
everything
anything during a Marvel movie.
Shut down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Same rule applies. My phone, same rule applies when I'm at home. Like Black Widow, I ain't take no calls.
Yeah, but
People was calling
Yeah,
me, yo,
but
you trying to
you
play Call of
going- you
Duty?
taking
Trying to play some
bathroom
Warzone?
breaks
Trying to
and
play
everything.
this? Hey, go do this. Hey, I broke down. I need
Why
help.
do you want to do
Forget all
the
that,
same
bro.
thing you always do, right? If the movie is a different, it's a movie is different. You always watch movies on your couch, TV on your couch at home, or whatever. You want to do something different, or whatever. Like
Nah, I hardly don't. That's the
So,
thing. I
listen,
hardly
some
don't watch
people
movies
just-
on my couch at home. Like,
me and
I'm usually watching TV shows. I hardly ever watch movies unless it's Marvel or like Tomorrow War or some super hyped movie. I'm not gonna watch it. I'll be honest with you. Like I never seen The Irishman.
My son were going
Anybody
to
ever
the
seen
movie.
The Irishman?
We were going to the movie theaters all the time. So
well, you got to be going again.
Yep, you gotta be going again now, yo.
Well, Ellie, your kids don't watch
Break
them
out that
anyway, so you
hazmat
don't
suit.
save money. Your kids don't watch them anyway, so don't worry about it. You only paying for you.
No, they watched the movies. I'm talking about they just wasn't getting into the shows. They watched the movie.
Oh,
Okay.
how? Oh, wow.
Yeah.
No, I can see that. The shows
Me
are
too.
more drawn out. Like
Yeah.
you have to kind
And
of
it's
watch
over
the
in
show
one
and
shot.
keep in mind that it will connect to the movie. A
Right.
kid isn't gonna be like they just want that one movie.
And
to
sometimes the
watch and be
shows
like,
have
oh, they ain't trying to,
and the shows have like filler episodes. Like episode wasn't that good or something.
Yeah,
like that.
yeah. Oh, you're always gonna have that. You're always gonna have some episode not that good. Once you get to like season 5, you're gonna have a season that's not that good. Like,
And then go right to
it's the
Fortnite.
downfall of shows.
Well, anyway, guys,
It's
that's kind of a
about
preview of what I want us to do. Talk about movies
Right.
and TV shows once we get a show. I just want to kind of talk about that now. But it's been a What If episode 1 and 2 spoiled discussion. It's been great. Always love having Dave and E, my guy Ant, pulling the strings, getting us on the profile.
Yeah, man.
We'll be back for episode 3 and 4. Also, a Shang-Chi spoiled discussion with the same panel. We're all back together. Of course, me and Ant will probably have an out the theater review, as we always do. Stuff
spoiler
like that.
free, but then we'll give it to you guys with these two guys.
Yeah, man. So for that, man, thank you guys for watching. Always like, comment, and subscribe, and really appreciate it. Any other thoughts you guys have?
No, I had a great time, man. I love it.
Nah, yeah. Awesome.
All right.
As usual,
All right,
awesome, man.
I appreciate it as
I
always,
just want to
guys.
say I'm happy you guys join us. It gives a I think we kind of hit the nail on the head. And for the movie goers and comic book fans, I think we do a great job. Our banter back and forth, it's perfect. So
yeah, we definitely appreciate it, man. Thank you so much for coming on, man. Both my guys, Dave and E, man, long-term friends of mine. So we appreciate it. And for that, I'm Big Mike.
I'm Little Ant.
Out.
Out.
See you guys.